All right, we are live.
Welcome everyone to Season 1, Session 7 of our GURPS Monster Hunters game. I am today's GM, Rigil Kent, aka Phil, when we forget to use our online pseudonyms. Today, or tonight, whatever, we are supposed to have a full house, but one of the players is going to be a little bit late due to work. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Before we actually get started, though, are there any immediate housekeeping things that need to be taken care of?
I have one.
Okay.
After tonight's game, I'll have the 10 points to be able to pay off the enemy. So I'd like to
Then he
let you
may
be
show
aware.
up down the road and eat you.
Okay. Well, I'll have the 10 points to be able to pay it off. So I would like to be able to let you be aware that's my intention.
Right.
Why do you want to pay off the enemy?
I don't like enemies. I want to basically,
Well, you put it on your character.
No, someone else did. But
They had flavor.
Flavor.
Something else in that vein is I think I'd mentioned it on the Discord. I'm not sure if everyone had seen it, but any of the play or PCs who do not have area knowledge, apocalypse, or at least occultism can spend a point into those skills to reflect either having gotten to know the town or having had like Finlay give them a primer on what's going on with the supernatural, or read a bunch of books or something like that.
Say that again. I didn't quite understand that.
If you do not have area knowledge, apocalypse, or occultism, you can spend a point into either one of those, or 2 points into both,
Gotcha.
to reflect having gotten to know the town, and because Finley's the nominal
Gotcha.
supernatural expert, having him give you a primer on it.
Gotcha. I have points already spent.
Right. I was going to ask, or I was intending to look up, what exactly does occultism cover?
That is going to it's like not quite
as opposed to
hidden
cryptozoology.
lore, but it gives you like some of the basics. I am looking. Yeah, it's the study of the mysterious and the supernatural. But this is stuff that is most anybody can learn. It doesn't necessarily cover the hidden lore elements.
Yeah, I don't know that it's ever been made quite as explicit as it probably needs to be, but I think the hidden lore tends to cover things like who's who and that sort of thing.
Okay, what does that put your area knowledge at there, Finley?
It puts it at 14.
Andricus is not allowed to type things.
What?
He must speak them.
Oh, you're making me actually say words during the game? What nonsense is this? Yeah, I put a point into area knowledge apocalypse, and thankfully it's IQ easy, not IQ average, so that brought me up to 14.
I was going to mention that, so you get area knowledge by default at IQ level for places you have lived. If we have lived here long enough to count, then I'm assuming that that's going to count here as well.
That is one of those that it's like difficult to really. It's like, how long
Yeah,
do
I
you have to
know.
live there? I mean, it's not like you're strapped for points.
No.
But I want to have 18s and everything. So I am strapped for points.
Well, that's easier said than done. Is anyone else adding AKA Apocalypse or Occultism?
I've already have them. Now, I do have a question with regards to how he was paying off like some disadvantages. What about buying up certain advantages or new levels, say, and like gaining abilities in mysticism as like things get unlocked kind of thing?
That's a very interesting question. If you have something in mind, let me know and I will try. It's like, hey, I want to purchase this, and then I will try to find a way to incorporate like a power up event or that kind of thing in the game.
Cool. I don't have anything right on hand or offhand that I'm thinking of, just for the future kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
What? That's usually you've seen something. What have you seen? Yeah.
No, it's like soldier versus all the skills that make up soldier. It's a backup.
Right. Yeah. So that is kind of what I meant to say, but clearly I didn't phrase it correctly.
Well, it doesn't mean you were wrong. There's right and there's right for me specifically. I am going to go ahead and do that, by the way.
Okay. What's that going to put your occultism at?
11.
I think I'm going to bump up my perception.
Okay.
What is the lowest perception in the group now, I wonder?
Mine's
Actually, we have
15.
that, don't we?
14 for me.
Yours is probably not the lowest.
I'd have to look. It might
12
be
is
on
still the lowest.
Yeah, it might be on the thing.
And it wasn't Ryder's.
It's yours, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Are you feeling left behind?
A little bit. But Max is 12 as well, so there's that.
I was halfway expecting Mark to chime in. I'm going to improve my perception just so. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I got 5 points left. I'll get another one if I want to.
Okay, so are you aware of what happened last week there, Hermanos?
yes.
Wait, you're not Hermanos.
So, as far as I understand, there was some issue where Eric ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, you were there for that.
Well, yeah,
you were
and
there
then
for him getting stabbed.
and then Draven had a house brought down on him by one of the Order of the Denarius, Black Denarius. They went and found McKay's place ransacked and a new, a previously unknown shelter further in. Finlay and a few were set upon by the witch woman Penumna. I can't, and
yeah, because Daniel had to wait until after the game to go, oh, by the way, you're pronouncing that wrong.
Hey, I got used to not correcting Mark's pronunciation of Polish names, so.
Right.
Why?
Because that would be a full-time job.
It would be. It would totally be. And then, so
You did okay.
So I got a little bit of that information from the boards and
Yep.
from the Obsidian
So
portal.
yeah, so as I stated at the end of the last week, about 3 weeks is going to have elapsed since basically the end of that session. I was initially going to open up with a question to Padre, but he couldn't be here. Or he's just late. So I can probably angle it sort of towards Eric then, because I was going to let Padre know that the case involving the Corbett house blowing up, the 9 would-be sacrifices, the dead guy that MacArthur shot with the shotgun, and the 3 bodies in town, including Mr. Corbett, that kicked the entire thing off in episode 1, has been technically closed. And I was going to ask him what was the too long didn't read official, but not entirely accurate, maybe good portion fictional explanation for what actually happened and why was the case closed.
You asking me?
I guess I can punt some of that since you're like doing the whole medical angle.
Well, they did find a bunch of shot up coyote corpses in the rubble.
Okay, so why did the house blow up?
You're asking me?
Sure.
No, I'm asking a question. Are you actually asking me? Because Dr. Eric
And
wasn't
he just
there. For the... Panic.
Well, honestly, they didn't have any actual evidence of
I might have an idea.
explosives.
What occurred was during the ensuing fight against the rabid coyotes, a stray round ricocheted and hit one of the gas lines.
I was about to go there because I was remembering the burn marks on the chests, and I was probably going to relate that to either electrical shock or that caused a gas explosion or something, plausible.
Well, it's not plausible. Mythbusters tested that.
Maybe they
Well-
haven't seen that episode.
Then the Sunnydale effect kicks in, where people go read the thing, go, yeah, that seems believable.
Actually, just saying that Mythbusters did also test the water heater, and that did actually blow stuff up. So maybe the water heater went off and destroyed the nearby mountains.
No, there was an earthquake that happened about the same time, so you could tie that into it as well.
I actually saw the
Ooh,
water
all
heater
three.
episode. That was quite dramatic.
So
It
that's what
was.
it was.
So it's the water
Okay.
heater and the gas and the earthquake all combined.
It's a series of unfortunate events. So following the quote home invasion unquote that claimed the life of a local citizen, Draven has found himself constantly hounded by the police department's primary detective, Detective Hernandez, who is absolutely convinced that the Draven is involved in some capacity, but he hasn't yet gotten the official proof. To that end, Ryder has effectively gained an enemy who appears on a 9 or less, but he is just as a watcher. So I've already added that to the character. It's one of those where, Draven's going to wash his clothes at the thing, and he finds out, hey, the dude's almost staking me out again.
Okay. He's only 0 points, though. I'll pay him off.
Ouch.
Unfortunately, it was a GM assigned one, so that means it costs infinite points, and I can't put the infinity symbol in the number of points it costs.
That's too bad.
Honestly, I didn't try. That'd be funny.
I think it only takes integers.
And further, Draven has discovered that his mother, or the thing possessing his mom, he's not sure, has just sort of dropped completely off the radar and disappeared. Hopefully, it'll show back up.
So it can be assumed that Draven knows that the thing that is now his mum is the big bad.
Not necessarily the big bad, but
Well,
it's definitely
a big bad.
Yeah, because Finlay does not actually have hidden lore angels, but he
I do.
has. Hold on, relax. But as I said last time, I did default his hidden lore demon, or bleh, defaulted it off of his demon lore with like -3 or -4, something like that, which Mark will probably be distressed to know that is still higher than your angel lore.
Boo.
But
That's
between the
fine.
two of them, between the two of them, he can learn at least some of the stuff there. So he is going to be aware that either his mom either said, "Yes, I will accept the this evil cursed coin," or the fallen angel said, "You're going to take it, and I'm going to squish your mind if you don't."
I can
Okay.
squeeze your mind.
I vote no.
But she was actually looking for the coin, right?
She was looking for the coin, which is potentially troublesome.
So that would suggest that she wasn't being coerced at that point.
That is a possibility.
Unless the coercion happened earlier from something else.
She could have been done it out of ignorance.
Right. And similar to that, MacArthur, in addition to getting along better with the Ramirez's, except for the one that he really wants to have a better relationship with, he has also determined that he has a dude that has been sort of like following him. If you vaguely recall, taking photos. And over the 3 weeks, he's eventually sort of pieced together that this guy is probably DEA. And so like Draven, he's got a 9 or less watcher enemy. It's like you might be a person of interest in the mysterious disappearance of DEA
One
officer Arthur
Arthur.
Hughes.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, so with regard to the Ramirez's, he's also realized that his daughter, this body's daughter, whatever, June, was born almost exactly 9 months after Arthur's sister died, leading to, hey, well, if your soul was recycled, maybe her soul was recycled. Maybe that's why he feels so overprotective.
I am I'm very protective of her. She needs me. She needs a father figure in her life, or somebody that will act actually. And this older Hugh MacArthur dude, he wasn't all that great. Maybe I can do better.
So
Maybe.
you will be her father figure.
Just out of interest, that enemy works out to be -1 points.
No, it should be 1.
You can't have -1.
As a disadvantage. Disadvantages are negative.
Oh, you mean
The enemy.
Yeah, -1.
Did I not say -1?
I'm sorry.
you said -1, but that didn't make sense at the time.
Brain
Given
cramp.
that you were talking about disadvantages, you don't normally say it.
Yeah,
that
that's
way.
one of those that it's like, yeah, it comes out to -1, and I've probably said I have to look back on the thing later and go, no, it should have been -1.
So that's a not case.
What? What do you mean by that?
Logic
Never mind.
case. I got it.
Double negative.
Well, I got that reference.
I prefer triple negatives.
That's a positive.
I know your nope.
And finally, with MacArthur, you've had more than 3 weeks. I think it's been a month since you've been quote reborn. I'd have to double check to verify that. But so he's had plenty of time to experiment, so he is aware of all of the capabilities that are on his character sheet.
And it'll be like one of those little weird montage things that he does with the father, or with the pastor, the father,
The priest.
the priest.
Oh, I want a montage.
I'll get
like-
to you. You'll probably like your montage better than Mark's.
It's probably cooler.
It has
So
werewolf chicks.
Eric has mostly been out of Apocalypse, having completed his task for the OMI, and upon receiving the bill of health, returned to Albuquerque, where he normally lives. Although his mom has made a point of routinely giving him a call to fill in on the family goings on, and to probably also make sure that he hasn't turned into a blood-sucking fiend.
Where's the drama?
He is also aware that she is actually a little worried that Faith might actually be gay due to the youngest Lopez getting into aggressive physical pursuits and maybe a couple fights at school, but she hasn't quite sure how to broach that subject yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not difficult to for the players to go, no, she's just learning how to fight because she's a Slayer type. But hey, Mom and Eric don't have the full knowledge
That is true. We don't.
because it's always more fun that way. Finlay has had to deal with a number of rather intrusive examinations by the Venatorium Brurum and the White Council personnel that are apparently intended to ensure the visiting Denarian did not contaminate him in any way. The wards of the inner library have been tripled in strength, although honestly, with the ease with which that Denarian sort of breached them previously, you're not totally sure how well that's gonna work. He's interacting with 6 different wizards of varying levels in the last couple weeks, and when I say varying levels, I don't mean like D&D levels. Though I guess that could be.
Don't you really?
apt. Been told absolutely nothing about any keys. His bosses, seem to have no idea what he's talking about. His instructions or instruction to Faith is, continue to pace. He's found her, an adequate student, although she really prefers to just punch things or hit them with something rather than read. Hurt has been very busy in more ways than one. The company, as requested, the company has arranged for him to participate in a couple of anti-cartel ops, at least one of which was totally like Sicario. Although I'm not sure which character Hurt fits in that movie. That's an awesome movie, by the way.
It is pretty nice.
I even liked the sequel. Not as much, but it was still pretty good.
It was a different kind of movie.
Different kind
Hurt-
of movie, yeah.
Hurts the Delta guy that says, just lay back and let it happen.
He has also discovered that he is extremely popular with the Uktina ladies. So there's his montage. where he's it's frankly even more exhausting than going out on the ops with the against the cartel.
And slightly less dangerous.
Is it though? Is it really?
Is it really?
I mean, they might be
said
trying
slightly.
to ensure that you're like going to be listed as death by snoo, but And Will, who isn't here, but is gonna potentially be back in town for bourbon and steaks with the friend of his who he has a sense of duty for, and he was commenting, it's like, haven't even interacted with him in the game. Like, oh yeah. So on Thursday, it is, make sure I'm still Thursday. Yes, Thursday the 15th. It's around 9:30 p.m. and Hugh MacArthur is going to the Wal-Mart. He has literally just gotten off of work. You've been doing a lot of overtime with the construction crew. They're
need
down. Yeah, you do need it.
Repaying backdated bills and all that.
Plus, they're down at least one guy because, he died. And he pulls up, in next to an old Ford Ranger. It's totally going to look like that Ford Ranger that you had.
Oh, yeah.
And when he gets off his bike and he's about to go in there, he hears a cell phone ringing, and he realizes the cell phone is on the ground next to the truck.
Huh. So he'll pick it up, do the scan around, see if there's anyone nearby, and be.
Well, it's a Walmart. It's
Well,
it's got people
that seemed
here.
that seemed to be like, oh wait, turning around to come get their phone, and then after a ring or so, he'll be like, lost cell phone, man. How can I help you?
Let me see. You don't. Now I got to try to remember how much you actually knows about the other stuff, because he didn't.
If he actually goes to the gym, he's probably seen Faith there.
That is potentially true, but it's not going to be Faith on the other side. It's going to be his mom or her mom.
Well, he might recognize the truck.
He might recognize the truck. I don't know. Does he recognize the truck there, you?
I don't know. Do I recognize the truck? Hey, isn't this like Faith's mom's car?
Might be Faith. You're not sure.
Faith or Faith's mom's phone?
An older woman will definitely be on the other side. Actually, I say that, and I need to remember that Yu is in his 40s. I think she's in her mid-50s. So she's still older. And she's going to start. Why do you have this phone? Where's Faith?
I'm guessing she's inside the Walmart and dropped the phone on her way in. It was next to her car. I just happened to notice it when you started ringing. Funny that. One might say kind of coincidental.
It might have been coincidental.
So she's lost Faith.
I could go look and that's there it is.
That was bad. She immediately starts freaking out because she's apparently been calling this number for a bit now. Hey, it's Padre. He made it.
Well, I could go look and see if she's in the Walmart. I mean, that's where her car's parked. I don't see any other stores she might have wandered off to.
Something that you do note is it looks like she has there are like a couple cases of water already in the back of the truck.
Like she was already in the store.
Yep.
What? Well, I start looking around the car, looking to see if there's like where somebody like peeled out, and I kind of talk calmly to her mom. It's like, I'm sure she's probably fine, but I'm kind of doing that investigative, like, something's not, something's rotten in Denmark kind of look.
Okay. Well,
And I start
pause that.
typing, and I'll start doing the texting. Finlay going, hey, your ward have you seen her, kind of thing, while I'm talking to her mom. But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I was going to
Uh,
pause that, and no, you're not going to get it. You're doing magic or dealing with magic people.
well, fine.
Yeah, because so Padre is here.
Yes, and let's hope that the work phone does not ring.
Let's hope.
You could always turn it off. Won't ring then.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry. My battery died.
Sorry, I'm back in for now, and hope it'll stay that way.
Cool. So yeah, quick recap. I was just doing the stuff that had happened in the 3 weeks since the previous one. I currently do have Will is back in town for bourbon and steaks with Terrence. Having cleared as much of his docket as he could manage. What was the official our sort of pseudo decision about the case, the Corbett case, guys?
Combination water heater, gas line, stray bullet, and
Electricity.
the electricity and earthquake.
Because that case was like, quote, officially closed.
It could also be a rental investment property by Michael Bay, owned by Michael Bay.
That'll definitely do.
Random firework explosion. Also attacked by feral coyotes. The
Water
four-legged
heater,
tag.
earthquake, gas leak, Michael Bay show.
Coyotes.
So what really happened was a coyote bit the garden hose, and the house blew up.
That
Seems
seems
legit.
a bit difficult to buy. But okay.
You haven't watched enough Michael Bay movies then.
Or no, Buffy.
And it got struck by lightning and bitten by a cobra at the same time.
Right. So, as stated, you has found the dropped cell phone, and you were doing like some sort of scan or search or something like that. What kind of skill are you going to use for that?
Oh, I'm looking. I don't know if urban survival might work, or potentially. I'm just gonna use
Probably just-
urban.
Probably just perception.
Yeah, perception.
Of course, you're like me in the low 12.
I mean, urban survival is based off perception, so I guess it really doesn't matter. I'll roll that in the box for you.
Well, you don't necessarily see anything that stands out as to, there's like no squeal marks or anything like that. But as you are poking around, you will eventually note, several yards away in other directions, like heading away from the thing. You will note a set of keys.
I will get them and then kind of push the button to see if it sets the car to lock or something.
Let's see. Does that truck have an alarm? I mean, I don't think it does. I don't think it has one of those. It's an older one. So
You could just try the lock.
Right.
those are definitely the keys for this truck, though.
Finlay's not responding. Let's see. I'll call Will. He seems the
Will
next
is. I
most
don't know
up
if
and
you
up.
necessarily. Well, I don't know if you necessarily know where Will would be because he is normally not in Apocalypse. He is usually based out of Las Cruces.
All right. So G.I. Joe it is. Hey, yo, Joe.
He is
I'm
totally not going to. It's going to go straight to voicemail.
Do we have like a group me or something?
Well, he might be busy.
What are the chances, I wonder?
Well, if I look
It's
at my timeline,
Thursday. What time is it?
9:30 p.m.
Evening on Thursday. Well, he might be doing something. Yeah, let's see. So on a good, he's available. Wow. Apparently I was sitting there with my thumb up my ass, not trying to figure out something to do.
Recovering from some interesting encounters with Tina women.
I had to turn down somebody so I could get a night off.
Or someone's leaving.
Hey, Mac.
Hey,
you want?
yo, Joe.
Charlie.
So I'm standing out here in the Wal-Mart parking lot, and that might seem pretty
I generally
routine,
advise
but
against that sort of thing.
but I'm here at like that young girl Faith's car, you know, man, and like her keys are on the ground, her phone seems to be tossed aside, and her mom seems to be really worried, and she's not been
Sparky?
answering. Yeah. I try to call Mr. Finlay, the nerd, but he doesn't seem to be answering on his phone, and it's starting to seem like this young girl may have had some kind of close encounter with some bad dudes.
You're going to
Check it.
hear in the other phone, what? I'm calling the police.
Did I
You
really? That would be hilarious.
You absolutely do.
Okay, that's awesome. It's like, no, I'm talking about my girlfriend. Click.
You check with security yet? Should have cameras on the parking lot, exactly to prevent this sort of thing.
So I guess I will. It's like, oh, well, that's a good idea. I should have thought of that. Well, keep near your phone just in case.
Yeah. Hurt
Yeah,
is totally
I'll
like
be out there in a few.
totally hear a knock on Hurt's door. Hey,
Okay, it might be a little bit longer.
There's no like vans or anything like that in the nearby parking lot that are.
well, her mother, when you talked to her on the phone, did say that she had been calling for some time.
Right.
So if there are any creepy pedo vans, they've probably already snuck away.
Dang pedo vans always running off. Okay, I'm gonna go talk to security and see if I can convince somebody to let me see the footage.
Or just get one of them to look at it.
Or yeah, one of them. I'll take note of like those like one of the numbered pillars that for helping you figure out where you parked your cars, just so I can tell them, hey, there's and look to see which cameras might have the best view.
It's going to take you a bit of time to walk over there, talk to the people, try to start working your way up there. By which point you will definitely see some police cars arriving. So I guess I guess Faith's mom was not kidding when she said she's going to call the police.
Wow, talk about your response.
Well, it's 15 minutes or so. The town isn't that large.
True.
Remember the map.
The map.
Also, not as typically crime-ridden.
Well,
Everybody has guns.
that's not untrue. So the police will definitely, some of the police will, end up entering in here as well, and to talk to the same people. Where's my police department thing? There's my police department thing. It's probably going to be Sergeant Hooker. No, it'll be Officer Crawford down there on the bottom left.
Nah, it should be Hernandez just in case Draven shows up.
I was hitting the wrong thing. I meant to resize, and it's like trying to share it and share. Like, why am I doing this? Brain crap. And Crawford is immediately going to start grilling MacArthur.
And I'll tell him exactly what's been going on and what I was planning on doing. It's like, hey, I think we should go check out these cameras, man. I mean, this young lady, who knows where she could be right now.
He is going to do the usual stuff. Take a quick statement. It's like gonna need you to stay here, and he's gonna take the phone and the keys. Put them like in a bag just in case.
It's like I will not promise. I will not promise to stay there.
Well, we're gonna have to get an official statement from you. And,
well, yeah,
he's not
but,
entirely sure if he can trust you. I mean, you
Well,
are
come
kind
on.
of suspicious looking.
I am a suspicious kind of fellow. I mean, I do have a reputation.
Wow, that kind of reputation. What a terrible person you are.
Hey, I've gotten better-ish.
So by about 10 p.m., the Apocalypse Police Department are officially going to declare whatever that she is missing, believe abducted. They are going to begin the process of issuing an Amber Alert since she is still 16 and Amber Alerts are 17 and lower. At about that time, Maria is actually going to call Eric, in something of a panic because she's just spoken with the police who are doing their thing. So she's going to call Eric to let him know that Faith has been abducted, and she immediately wants to know if this is due to your condition.
Hey, Mom. Whoa, hold on. What's happening?
Oh yeah, I forgot that. He was a brother.
Faith? Yeah, Faith is his
Yeah.
sister.
Yep.
So, Mom, I don't know if this has anything to do with my condition. I honestly don't know. But what is going on with Faith? Go drop that by me again. What are some details?
They don't have a lot of detail, or she doesn't have a lot of the details yet. She's just spoken to the cops. They have said, she is missing. They are, or all the. They're not going to say she's missing. I think they would officially declare that it is suspicious. There are all the hallmarks of an abduction, but they are not 100% positive, and they are immediately looking into it. And they are issuing Amber Alert and letting everybody know. And mom is totally panicking.
Mom, let me call my boss. Let him know I need to make my way down.
It's honestly, it's 10 p.m. You're not at work. I doubt it.
Well, technically I work for the department. I still need I'll text them and say, hey, I need to take some personal time.
Or you just jump in the car and call them while you're in the car.
That too. So I'll be like, hey, I'm on my way. I'll see you in a bit.
Based off of the distance, if you leave immediately around 10ish, you should arrive in Apocalypse a little after midnight.
Okay. So I am heading to Apocalypse.
So that should totally have you do a universe reaction roll to determine if you get stopped for speeding.
It'll totally be Will.
No, Will's already in Apocalypse, probably getting potentially a little hammered.
If I see him pass by fast, I might call it in.
Well, if he passes you by super fast, like what the hell is he doing driving that fast inside Apocalypse?
Well, I'm just saying I'm too lazy to get out of my chair and drop my scotch.
You're like, hey, you shouldn't drive that fast. By 10:15, MacArthur, you will be officially let go. They'll make sure that they have your contact information. You've done a complete. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Any chance I saw any of the footage?
It's probably not likely, but it is possible. How should we do that? We could do that as a reaction roll, or let's do the universe reaction roll to see if they
I'm
did.
going to try and savoir-faire police and do some police jargon mumbo jumbo to see if I can
Yeah, but
improve
you're
that.
you're a known lowlife.
It'll
Yeah,
surprise
that's true.
him.
But it'll surprise them. Blind them with brilliance or baffle them with bullshit. One of the two, right?
No, he'd probably take a penalty for the rep, which should have a penalty associated with it, I think.
Well,
Right.
he doesn't have a technical reputation. I mean, I guess he probably should. That's something we
Quirk,
should.
yeah, probably
we
quirk
should've-
level with the cops, I'm sure. So even if we say we start off at a +1 or whatever, -1, I'm trying to sit there and diplomats or get them to let me see.
Okay.
So I'm going to use savoir-faire police as a potential modifier. I don't know what that does for me. Maybe it makes it evens. I don't know. I'll let reaction.
You can no. I don't think you necessarily need to do a reaction in this case. If we're going with a quirk level -1 rep, that'd be success by 0. So you're probably able to keep the guy necessarily talking while making sure that you have at least an angle to see it. And I am.
And the whole time,
Making a note
the
of
cop is
things.
probably saying, "You sure know an awful lot about police procedure."
Well, of course he does. He's been nearly arrested a bunch of times, just never actually convicted. Hold on, I am trying something. Didn't work like I wanted it to. Okay, so do it this way, Phil. You don't have a very good view of the stuff, and it looks like they're pretty crappy cameras. And the Wal-Mart employees, complain that it's bad field of view, just crappy cameras. But the officers are like, yeah, well, we're going to need a copy of that immediately. But yes, you are definitely you are cut loose after they make sure that they've got your fingerprints on file, so they can make sure that when they go over the cell phone, that they are able to go up. Here's one. Oh wait, no, that's MacArthur, and we know that's not. Or we suspect he's not the psycho in this case. Maybe in a different case. What's the official? I know there's a phrase for that.
Person of interest.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean either. I'm talking about, hey, I'm taking your fingerprints so I can when I do the fingerprints on the thing, then I know to ignore those. There actually is an unofficial police thing, but I can't remember the name of it, and I guess it doesn't matter. So around 10:15, the Amber Alert text goes out for across the city, and so anybody who has a cell phone will be chiming. I'm presuming, I have no idea if Australia has anything like that, but I am presuming that everybody is, at least except maybe Daniel, has had their phone start buzzing for the Amber Alert.
Yeah, we do.
So as it stands, Finlay, your phone is powered down and locked away, as you are currently with a wizard who is doing some magic stuff in the library.
Yeah.
Hurt. It depends on how how you react when Jessica shows up.
Now, when she showed up, I'm like, "Hey, you want to go investigate a kidnapping?"
That's not what she's here for.
No, but I need a break.
So okay, Graham may or may not have heard this, since he's like I said, he's having steak and bourbon with Terrence.
Exactly.
Yeah. So give me a universe reaction roll for Will. So yeah. I was gonna say, in that case, you will probably hear the phone buzzing or doing the alert, but how he reacts is up to him. I was going to say, if it was totally positive, he just happened to have picked up the phone to, I don't know, check the time or something like that, and saw the alert come up. And if it's poor, he just didn't bother. So it's entirely
because we're out in the back with the barbecue and drinks, and the phones were left inside the house. I think we may have heard buzz, but I can't be sure.
Yep, that's fine. And you might be in the tipsy condition. See, obviously, Arthur's going to hear it. Draven likely hears it.
What we don't realize is that Draven was running a test on her, the how to not get abducted, and she's failing this right now. And he's like looking at the phone saying "missing girl" and looking up and seeing her at the gym going, "I think I made a mistake."
That would be funny, but that is totally not what is happening. Yeah, Ryder's phone is going to. I don't know. Do you have an actual decent phone? Because I know you're like living mostly off the grid.
He would have, the bare bones. It's not like an iPhone. It's like several generations older.
So it's not like actually a smartphone. It's probably just, crap. How do those work? Do they just still get the text?
They get the texts, so they're not a smartphone, but they still have some smart ability, so you can check emails and stuff like that still. Be like a flip phone.
Right. Well, yes. So he is going to be probably at the gym, and the phone is, obviously everybody that is in the gym will be reacting as the Amber Alert goes off.
And Apocalypse being probably such a small town that it is, someone probably in that crowd knows Faith.
Oh, I'm certainly do. She's been here pretty frequently. And
Hey, Draven, isn't that the young lady you've been training, man?
And just as that is sort of reacting to, you will definitely, Draven will definitely see a police car pull up outside the gym. Lights flashing and all that stuff.
All right, so Draven will sort of walk to the curb and sort of meet these cops.
And one of them is going to be Detective Hernandez. And he's like, I got you now.
Got me for what?
And he is being he is accompanied by Sergeant Hooker, who has just got this really tired. Not this crap. She's like, can you please come down to the station with us, Mister? And double check her notes. Mr. Ryder.
What for?
We have a missing girl who has been seen frequently in your. Good Lord, words just went whoosh.
In your presence.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I know what the word is, and it's just like, why can't I say presence?
She's been training. She's been training here. What more can I say?
And Hernandez is like, yes, you need to come with us. You are a person of interest. Oh. All right, he is going to totally get into arrested, isn't he?
This is BS, man.
I've talked to you guys enough. So unless you guys are going to arrest me, I suggest you piss off and go and find where this girl is.
And Hernandez will break out the handcuffs and say, please put your hands behind your back. You are under arrest.
Under arrest for what?
Suspicion of kidnapping.
So Draven will then, walk up to Hernandez and sort of, I'm assuming Hernandez is significantly shorter than Draven. So Draven looks down at him.
6'6", yeah.
Yeah, everybody is.
And he's going to be intimidating, without actually saying anything. He's just going to stare him down.
Yeah, well,
I should get fearsome stare.
They are still going to arrest you. They might throw in contempt of cop on there too.
This is totally bullshit.
It is.
They have to tell us where you hit her. And they will take you to the police station. Yeah, I have a picture of the sort of police station, although there aren't two people standing outside when that happens, and it's also probably a bit darker.
I don't know. They're bringing Draven in. They might just have two people out there.
In riot gear with with stun guns.
They're probably looking all nervous, like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get hurt, aren't I?"
Draven will be thinking to himself, "That's not enough."
Which is probably very true.
what he doesn't actually know is Sergeant Hooker there is like a 1,000-point character. She's just slumming right now.
Respect.
Okay, that's probably not the case, but whatever. So it sounded like Hurt is meandering out to possibly link
Are
up
they at
with
half-mast?
Arthur.
That would be half staff.
Yeah, I guess they were for some reason. I don't know. I just happened to pick, find the decent picture, and it's actually a one of their, I think it's a PDF. I'm like, oh, hey, cool, this is perfect. I didn't even look that deep into it. But yeah, unless there's like a midget over there who is like lowering the flags as we speak.
Maybe they lowered it for the photo so that the flags would appear in the photo.
Maybe.
Anyway, not important.
Yep. So it sounds like Hurt is linking up with MacArthur.
Yeah.
Question mark?
It shouldn't take him too long to get there, I'd imagine. So he's probably there when the cops
Probably
get
not.
there.
Well,
And
maybe.
on the way, he'll be talking to Black Eyes and say, I kind of feel sorry for whoever snatched her. That girl hurts.
Can I have a moment?
No, you can't. Yes. What?
Lopez would probably be trying to get a hold of Will Graham and or the local police department in Apocalypse as he's driving town.
Why do you constantly call him Will Graham? Why don't you just call him Will or Graham? One of the two.
Or come up with a nickname.
Will? Okay. He'll probably be trying to get a hold of Will and or the local PD.
Yeah, he is aware that Will normally isn't based out of Apocalypse. He is normally out of Las Cruces, which is further south. I want to say it's an hour. It's like an hour south of Apocalypse. So contacting the local PD, yeah, you will be able to. That won't be particularly difficult.
So he'll just be calling the local PD to get as much details as he can. What suspects do they currently have, et cetera, et cetera. So he has an area of attack when he finally gets to town.
I don't think they're actually going to give you much information over the phone because anyone could say that, hey, by the way, I'm her brother, or hey, I'm this, So they'd be like, you have to be, and they'd have to have actual legitimate proof of that. So I don't think they would tell you a lot of info over the phone in that regard.
So then what I would do is get a hold of the sheriff's department, where I have probably better connections, and say, hey, I need some info. Can you get a hold of the police department on my behalf and tell me what they got?
You should spend some points and get contact group sheriff's department. That way you don't have to buy off the enemy. It's not like I've actually rolled the damn thing yet.
I rolled it earlier. I rolled it early.
No, yeah, I saw that, but it's doesn't necessarily mean he's going to show up. I mean, 6 or less is not exactly running into the guy all the time.
Well, either way, I'll get a hold of the sheriff's department. They probably know me a little bit more than the police department. They might be, with the recent events with losing his brother, might be a little bit more sympathetic. Maybe a universe reaction roll?
No, that would be a savoir-faire police, I believe, to get them to do that.
How about diplomacy?
That would be a savoir-faire police. Do you not have it?
I do not have that.
Don't!
You should have that. You deal with police all the time.
No, I deal with Office of Medical Investigations. Not necessarily
Who
police
deals
all
with
the
the
time.
police all the time?
So maybe medic.
Nope.
You have to say it that way every time. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to do the same when you're using 10 hut.
Yeah, but I don't say that. So Hurt shows up at the Walmart about the same time as the police, and he'll meet up with MacArthur. So he'll be there when
Well,
MacArthur's
MacArthur
trying
will
to
be there,
look at the video.
I don't know if you're going to be waved in on that.
Well, he'll be there. He's not necessarily in there. He's actually going to be focused more outside. So one of the first things he's going to do is see if he can get borrow the phone from MacArthur, Faith's phone.
Nope. The police have it now.
Police have it covered. Of course they do. So he'll just get it pointed out wherever it happened, so he can start tracking.
Well, it's probably not difficult to find out where it happened, because there's a truck and there are multiple police that are now sort of surrounding it and doing policey things.
The other person he might be trying to get a hold of is also Finlay, because he knows that he knew that Faith was around Finlay a lot, so he might be trying to get a hold of him.
Hurt will assume that the police don't want him bothering them right now, so he's just going to go on his own and sort of circle the parking lot. See if he can pick up tracks or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't think you're gonna find tracks. This is in a town that has concrete.
I don't know what happened here, so.
Okay, so with regards, jumping to Ryder, I looked at the, I think it was an action with regards to interrogation. I do realize that Ryder does not have any information on this, but they are still going to attempt a lengthy interrogation against him. And what I was thinking is that if you beat my interrogation roll, you may actually be able to get them to give you a clue, if that makes sense.
Okay, so on Will?
It is going to be versus Will. I did wonder with regards to whether his bad temper would apply a penalty to that, or how that would work, but I could not find anything that would immediately answer that question.
Well, it's probably reasonable.
Oh wow, I rolled really well.
As a precedent, if you have odious personal habit, it'll just apply a penalty. No, that's not what I was thinking of. Stubborn, I think it is. You just get a -1 to that because you're always stubborn.
I'm going to luck that one.
You don't like your success by 2?
No, I actually want to get some information.
Well, I am currently beating you by 6. Or not by beating you by 6, made mine by 6. And it looks like you succeeded on 1 by 6, so they're tied.
Defender wins.
Where does it say that?
Defender wins.
Defender wins.
I think that's in quick contests.
If you tie or lose, the victim remains silent or lies. If you lose by more than 5 points, he tells you a good, believable lie. So if you tie or lose, that means you didn't give them anything. And they didn't give you anything. Granted, they don't have a great deal at this point.
But I will roll bad temper to see if I like headbutt one of them or something.
But you got to make it look like an accident.
Yes.
Oh
So-
man, he's gonna end
Well,
up
that's
in
working out for
jail for assault. And I'm like, well, crap. He just worked himself out of the game for a while.
So if one of these detectives gets close,
There's only the one. There's only really only the one detective in the APD. They're not sufficiently large to have more than one.
then if he gets close enough, I'm assuming that Ryder's in cuffs or something like that.
Yes,
So if he gets close,
because
then
it's funnier that way.
is he cuffed to the table?
Sure. I like where this is going.
Well, the first thing that Ryder's going to attempt to do is to break the bolts on the table. So just rip the bolts out of the table.
Okay. Crap. I have no idea what that's gonna be.
I will just roll strength.
It's gonna be pretty difficult, but uh-oh, Daniel's typing something. That may mean he's found something that or not.
No.
Or maybe a damage roll. Thrust damage or something like that.
Well, those things are intended to be there. So I mean, to not be able to be torn free. So I'm just wondering how difficult would that be?
Well, it depends on how big the bolts are.
If you do it via thrust damage, then I think a bolt will have DR.
No, you wouldn't use well. No. Bolts have a weight limit. So if you can lift more than the bolt's weight limit, then you can break the bolt.
But that's like
But then you have to
eased
figure out what the
over.
bolt is.
Like you can do impulse, but you're doing an impulse weight. So
Yeah, it'd be really tough. It's going to be homogeneous. And it'll have a significant DR.
I'm gonna say since you got the strength by 11, that you didn't, because like I said, these things are designed to just stay. So you're probably not going to break it, but you are likely going to bend the table, which is going to cause him to freak out. Because holy crap.
All right, so he will attempt to grab Hernandez by ripping the bolts out. I don't know if the table is fixed to the ground. Maybe the table moves.
Yeah, they're going to be. Yeah, the tables are going to be secured to the concrete floor. Just say you do that. It does actually lift up a little bit, which it should not, which is likely going to cause Hernandez to scramble backwards.
And Ryder will attempt a headbutt. If he can't reach with a headbutt, he'll sort of trip him or something like that.
This is gonna be great. You're gonna end up in prison for the entire session.
I guess that would be judo.
Would it be judo? I thought judo was dodging,
Hmm.
grabbing and throwing. I didn't know you could headbutt during using the judo
No.
skills.
You can't use it. You can't use judo for striking.
Well, does he get to
Headbutt is
headbutt,
based on
or does
brawling.
he go for the trip? I don't know how close Hernandez is.
Well, I'll
Or
go for the
is he even close
headbutt.
enough? Is he close enough?
Yeah, just because it's funny, and Ryder is just he's totally making it worse for himself. I have him be doing the where he's like looming over you as you're seated, and you do the yank headbutt.
So, this would be after a lengthy interrogation. Ryder is absolutely, he's had enough with this. He will rip at the chains, trying to get to Hernandez. They don't break free, so then he'll sort of headbutt Hernandez, and he'll say, "This is total bullshit. I have nothing to do with this girl's disappearance."
Let's see, how much damage is a headbutt? Come on, Daniel, you should know this off the top of your head. Headbutt off the top of your head. Get it?
No, I don't. EFGH headbutt.
Headbutt.
Damage.
Thrust -1, crushing.
And I guess I'll roll intimidation.
Let's see. Holy crap, you did roll.
Does he
thrust
actually
already.
have the? Does he actually have the technique?
Headbutt. No, I don't have it listed.
Oh wait, no, never mind. That's based on brawling or karate. You actually have brawling. Yeah, you've
I
got
do
brawling.
have brawling. So what is it?
Thrust
Well, you
minus
rolled.
one.
Yeah, it's thrust -1.
So that would be... That's regular punch damage then.
Oh god. Now,
So he'll just keep going on. This is total bullshit. I'll have you for wrongful arrest. Let me the fuck go. Otherwise I'll tear this place apart.
self-inflicted injury for a target with a DR3 plus applies.
Yeah.
What?
You still have to target the face too, or the skull.
Well, he made
Which
the
he wouldn't
brawling by
make.
7. So if he did the face, that's by 2. I did fail a dodge. I rolled a freaking 16 on the dodge. It's like I don't even have necessarily stats for the guy, but I'm like, I'll just roll, presume 9 or 10 for the dodge, and then roll a freaking 16 and go, ooh, okay.
Roll health to see if it knocked him out.
Yeah, I think you're going to be in possibly in a jail cell for a while. That's a 9. So presuming 10, that means he's going to have succeeded a health check. Wait, no. Head strike applies a penalty, doesn't it?
If it's a major wound, it's a -5.
I don't think that's going to be a major wound. Well, it's to the face. Face doesn't get the minus or the DR3, does it?
It won't.
No.
So that is going to be a major wound. Probably broke his nose.
Is there a table for the face?
Mm-hmm.
I love how Brian's like, I'm a little distracted. I want to knock this guy out with my head.
Yeah, I want to have a scene where the other cops come in and I say, "Oh, he fell over."
Yeah, there's no way they're not gonna know that's not true. Wow.
Hit a bit low.
Still, to the face does what if it's a major wound? Minus something.
Major wound is -5. for head blow.
Okay, so in that case, it would be he failed by 4.
So he didn't knock unconscious.
Still rattled him though. Put him on the ground.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that is going to you are going to end up getting charged for something for that.
Oh, did I roll my intimidation? No, I didn't.
Well, that's intimidation by other means.
So as best as he can, Draven's going to stand over Hernandez on the ground. And it'll be, let me the fuck go and go find this girl. Do your freaking job.
So as stated, you will end up being back into the cell. See if you manage to maintain or keep your temper. They would have totally cut you loose after the 2+ hours of letting you stew and then trying to interrogate you and such like that. But I'm not positive. I have to double check, but I am fairly certain you will be charged with something there.
Lucky I don't have bloodlust.
Yeah, that would totally have, it's like, oh, great.
Started
Yeah.
curb stomping him.
Right about when Will comes in at some point, I totally sing, what the hell's going on?
He
Then Will
fell
has to
over.
shoot him. Then Will has to shoot Draven. Ooh, that would have been cool. Those of you at the Walmart will eventually be asked politely by the police that are present to clear the area. They're going to be dealing with this themselves. You're in the way,
Sure.
etc.
Do they say the same to the res police?
Res police have absolutely no jurisdiction here.
Yeah, but they might let them stay.
Valid, I suppose. She may meander over there
Depends on whether they
to
like
talk
them or
to
not.
them. Probably not. There's
No, she really
constant,
doesn't have any legitimate reason to be here. She's just passing through, and
she will likely exchange some pleasantries with some, whoever it is that is present. Get a brief recap, and then we'll, promise to contact the other members of the tribal police to make sure they keep a lookout in case it's linked to that or it comes across the res. So, what are you guys doing? What are Hurt and MacArthur doing once you are not hurried out, but told to leave, asked to leave?
Coordinate with everyone else for a meeting point because we have
Well, right now
absolutely
it's
no
just,
clue where to go.
Right now it's just you and Mac. Nope, sorry, you are Mac. You and Hurt.
And we have
Mac
no
and Hurt.
clues, nothing.
Well, technically, that's not true, but you just rolled like crap.
So, in this case, we have no clues.
Currently,
I haven't been informed of any clues that we actually have.
We could follow the cops and see where they go, or
That
do
won't
you
that
have
won't cause weird them to look at you weird, will it?
No,
I
I
mean,
think.
do we have a scanner or anything like that? Maybe that's what I need to buy is a police scanner.
Yeah. No, I think at least for my purposes, I'd probably wait for the cops to finish up here and leave, and come back and see if I can't pick up a scent or something.
Okay. That sounds like a legitimate option. You guys like pull back and do some observation.
Yeah.
Wait until the cops got it. So around 11 p.m. Will, your phone actually does start ringing. It's not a text message. It's actually someone is calling you.
All right.
And I'm presuming it's like you guys maybe be outside or something, or maybe even inside. If you ignore it, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's 11 p.m. I'm off. It rings. It goes quiet, and then it starts ringing again.
All right. Well, I'll I'll go and pick up the phone and I'll look at the number.
It is the state police.
All right. I'll answer it. Lieutenant.
He had to catch himself. He
Totally
almost
did.
said lieutenant. The dispatch on the other side is going to immediately apologize for calling you. They know that you're off duty or anything, but they have an Amber Alert in Apocalypse, and you had said, hey, you were going there, so you are their closest asset.
All right. I'll now look at my phone to look at the Amber Alert.
And I think he may not know Faith as well as like Draven, Hurt, MacArthur, and Finlay, because he's not actually living in Apocalypse. Definitely doesn't know her as well as Eric, because Eric's her brother. So.
But I think we did get the point that Eric and Will at least know each other from a professional standpoint.
Right. Yeah. But,
so he might know Faith at least in passing from. Well, he's related to Eric.
Will was
She's
part of the
related to
dream. Will was part of the dream, so he saw her there. He was also at the funeral, so he saw her there. So at least he's seen her a couple of times.
So I'm going to tell dispatch that I'll link in with the town police, and thanks for the call.
They will again fully apologize.
And then I'll turn to Terrence and I'll say,
all right, we should probably do that.
Terrence. Yeah, there he is. There he is.
He finally officially showed up, right?
Yeah, I'll say, Terrence. Now, can we, GM, can we retcon a conversation while all this other activity's been going on? Because I probably would have wanted to talk to Terrence about why I ended up in this town to begin with, but that probably would have gone back.
Absolutely.
All right, so if you agree, let's retcon to my showing up to talk to Terrence.
Okay.
And I'm going to just say to him, I meant to drop by a lot sooner. You might be wondering what I'm doing in town.
Well, I am sort of presuming that you guys do sort of keep in touch. So it's like
How
you may have.
presumptuous of you.
Yeah, be quiet, you. So it's like it's entirely possible you have been here once or twice in the last couple weeks.
I'll say, I sorry I didn't let you know I was in town, but I said I got a weird phone call.
Weird how?
You remember our friend?
Do I ever? And he can totally show you his basement, which has the wall of clues and the paper line, or not paper lines, but the lines connecting clippings and stuff like that. And it's clear that Terrence has the obsession dysad, but he is on the bad end of it.
Well, yeah, Terrence, I got a call, and it was Charles. And he asked me if I'd spoken with our old friend Terry lately.
Well, I told you he was still alive, but the FBI, those bastards, didn't believe me.
I don't doubt it for a second, but have you had any contact with Charles? I mean, it freaks me out that he actually was able to track me down, but he knows where you are.
Well, I haven't exactly hidden it. It's certainly not hidden the fact I'm trying to find that bastard so I can put a magazine, hollow points squarely in his skull.
And Will reach over to his side and say, "Yeah, I know the feeling." So I'm here because some very strange things have been going on, and I'm wondering, what do you know about? Remember that show, The X-Files?
Maybe. You might
Yeah,
start
you
getting a little fidgety.
Terry, do you remember The X-Files?
Where's this going?
Well, I mean, I gotta ask. We actually didn't have like a Fox Mulder in the bureau, did we? I mean, that's just all fictional, right?
Well, there were rumors.
Well, because there's been some things going on in this town. You may have heard about that house exploding.
Yep. Didn't you tell me you were involved in that?
Yeah, well, I went out to investigate because I thought perhaps it was cartel related, but it seems to me it's more occult related.
Well, that's interesting.
And I'm wondering if you've noticed anything in this town that's just a little bit beyond the rational and reasonable to explain.
Well, maybe.
I mean, Charles is flesh and blood, but I can't help but wonder if he's mixed up in this in some way.
And it's even more reason to put him in the ground.
Well, agreed. But why would he ask me to come here and check on you?
And Terrence will go and launch into a long-winded, crazy, obsessive explanation about this is like a master plan, and that Charles is probably a super mastermind. See previous mention, bad end of obsession.
Yeah. But when I say the occult, I really mean the occult, not just that usual BS that we saw from serial killers and satanic panic and
CD players,
all that garbage that they always professed when it really was just a matter of psychosis or hysteria. I mean, the real thing, like something dark, spiritual, the sort of stuff that, well, that's why I mentioned the X-Files, or maybe I should even draw on The Exorcist.
You're totally doing the White Zombie song. Look, I know the supernatural isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
So why do you think Charles, what would he know about you? Why would he want me to check in on you, or at least speak with you lately?
That's a very good question.
So I will go through kind of a list of the things that that I have seen, evidence, before I launch into the library bizarreness. And I'm hoping that as I read all that out to him, he may either say, yeah, I know something, or maybe it'll be nothing.
Damn problem with this place. All the freaking vampires.
Okay.
He actually he's not had very many experiences along the he's had a couple that are like he couldn't quite explain, but nothing to the extent that you are describing.
I mean, just the other day in the library, some thing, I thought it was a woman, literally blinked in and out of existence. I fired on her, missed her at point blank range with both pistols, and
You
then
need to go to the range more.
she just disappeared.
Yeah, he's a little surprised. Initially not sure if you're entirely sober, but yeah, he has not had any experiences to the level that you had. But it could certainly explain a couple things.
Such as?
Well, how Charles managed to escape and keep out of, keep from getting caught by us.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's still very strange that Charles would just simply call us out of the blue. But
It's part of his plan.
Well, what do you think his plan is?
Well, if I knew that, I would have already caught him.
Well,
I think he's crazy, like a Herman's.
Well, now I'm starting to wonder what truly is crazy.
He just told you.
So anyway, so Apocalypse.
You're sort of thinking that this conversation is taking place when you eventually get the phone call about the Amber Alert.
Yes, that's correct.
Gotcha. Once he learns about that, he's absolutely going to be convinced that Charles is involved in some capacity, because hey, that's this girl Faith, that's a virtue name, and Charles always went after girls that had virtue names.
Interesting. All right. And you honestly have never really seen such dark, sort of sorcerous things that I've seen here in Apocalypse in recent memory.
He's got like 3 or 4 experiences during his FBI career that he could not quite explain, but nothing to the extent of a chick catching bullets and then stepping through space or a tear in space. He's never seen anything like that.
Yeah, well, I wished I hadn't.
Well, you didn't get any permanent quirks or anything from it, so you're fine for now.
So, all right. Well, keep this all on the lowdown, of course. Maybe file it away with all your other treasures downstairs. However, yeah, I'm going to go and find out a little bit more about this missing person. What other sort of things might have indicated that Charles would be involved? What might we refresh my memory? What might we? I guess he doesn't have to refresh my memory, but anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't have to refresh your photographic memory.
Do you have anything that you remember about Charles's MO beyond just the virtue name?
You're like girls, virtue name, and the GM doesn't know how to phrase all of the appropriate stuff, but he will definitely go over go over with the cases again, all the things they had in common.
Right. All right. Well, thanks for that, and then we can just jump up to the. We'll just take it up to the phone call, and I'll get my hat and say thanks for the bourbon, Terrence. We'll catch you around soon.
Absolutely.
And
at the police station, you can be fully read in, where you are aware that, okay, had a girl went missing from the truck, or truck was abandoned, keys were found, phone was found. They've done all of the usual doohickeys. Actually, let me copy this and paste it. Found this, and it's like, oh, hey, that's interesting. I don't think it's entirely all right. He will probably also, as he's being read in by Lieutenant Block, I think it's Lieutenant Block. Let me double check with the police department. Yeah, Lieutenant Block. He will probably be, as he's being read in, he will observe Detective Hernandez emerging from the interrogation room. Blood on his face, as one of the officers, probably Begay, is taking or escorting Ryder into a cell.
Oh, interesting.
You can totally learn about all that mess.
I shake my head. And then I say, you know what? I got to make a call here. And I'm going to phone Eric.
It totally needs to make a universe reaction roll to see if he gets stopped by the police for driving too fast. Nope. Clearly, you have a radar detector or something in your vehicle, so you know when to slow down.
Okay.
All right. So Will is going to call Eric. Call Eric.
So yeah, I punch in Eric's number and yeah,
Eric will pick up. This is Eric. Is this Will?
Yeah, it's Will. What's going on? I see you called.
Well, I just found out that my sister has been kidnapped, and I'm currently driving to Apocalypse. And I was wondering if tried to get a hold of the police department. They couldn't give me any information. Just trying to get information as I get there. Do you know anything by chance?
I just I just got read in on this, and yeah, you might as well come. We can talk in person, but yeah, I'll have some details for you.
All right, sounds good. What's currently being done to hopefully locate her at this point? Do they have any suspects at this time?
He totally looked over towards Draven in the cell.
Yeah, they got one big beefcake of a suspect, but I suspect already it's not him, although I get the distinct impression that he's made himself. Anyway.
Okay. I'll be there shortly. If you hear anything more, please let me know.
Will do. So I'll go up to the sergeant and say, so why is Ryder here, dare I ask?
Sergeant. Okay, so she's going to nod in the direction of Hernandez and say, Hernandez, the detective had a hunch that he was involved since he's been seen around the girl a lot.
All right. So, but any actual real physical evidence that he was at the scene of the abduction?
Well, not yet.
All right.
He didn't help it. He didn't help his case by assaulting the detective in the interrogation room.
Yeah. Well, let's be thankful that it probably just ended in a punch of some description. Can I go talk to him?
Sure.
All right then. Will we be left alone?
He's over there in the cell. It's just this particular police station doesn't have a particularly large. It's not particularly large inside, so the cell is more like a drunk tank, so to speak. If they have an actual cells, you'd have to go to the now closed for the evening, I think, courthouse. So I mean,
Okay,
as long as you talk quietly, nobody's going to really pay attention to what you're saying.
All right. So I'll look at Draven and say, all right, well, I mean, right off the bat, I just want you to know I clearly don't think you're involved in this in the way they think you are.
Of course I'm not.
I suspect they're not going to find a damn thing.
They tried for several hours.
Oh, I'm sure they did. So I'll see what I can do. However, if you punched one of the officers, I don't think there's much I can do about that.
Well, the little piece of shit deserved it.
That may be. Anyway, temper. Yeah, I don't know. Bend bars, lift gates. Anyway, forget it.
Throwback.
So I was talking with an old colleague of mine, and have you ever come across the name of a, or what would you know about child abductions or in this range when we think about all the things that have happened in the last number of days?
would Draven have any particular idea? Or is it likely he's in the black as much as everyone else?
Yeah, he's not really aware of anything there.
I don't know. I don't know what's happened. It
All
could
right.
all be related, but I could tell you now it's not a regular kidnapping. He would have taken, the girl is strong and fast. She could have taken any kidnapper on without a problem. So I don't think it's a kidnapping.
So what do you think it could be then?
I don't know. I haven't found out anything. The cops here haven't told me anything, so I don't know. Maybe she's disappeared herself for reasons.
Could be that age. If there's any family issues, maybe she's decided to go running.
Well, her older brother is a half vampire.
Are we aware of that?
No,
Right.
I was just being a smart ass, Mark.
Right.
So
Well, yeah.
I don't really know, but I can almost stake my life on it. She wasn't kidnapped. At least not kidnapped in the normal sense.
Well, I'll do what I can to look at a different line of inquiry for them. But oh boy, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this assaulting an officer. It's probably not going to go well for you. Anyway, so
It's okay.
It's okay.
It is what it is. It's not the first time I've been in this spot.
Yeah, I completely believe that. But I think you're a good guy. I don't know, just for that temper. So I'm going to head back to talk to the other officers again, just asking about what physically they really saw that made them think this was a child abduction.
Right. So they can lay that out. It was called in by the mom who had determined that who had been calling the phone for like 2 hours, and it was picked up by someone who was discovered the phone next to the truck at the Walmart, and then the police basically went there. Or the guy also looked around at mom's request and discovered the keys for the truck, and the police said, "Okay, well, we need to investigate this." And it's just they don't have any solid official proof yet.
All right, and so I think. Could you see any signs of any kind of physical struggle of any kind?
They didn't find any thing that immediately stood out, but they are still sort of let's see, by the time you're called in, the person in question probably has found just some minor indications, like something may have gone down, but there aren't any broken windows or blood on the floor or anything like that. But as you know, there's any number of ways you can get around that, like taser or something like that.
So a phone was found, and keys were found.
Yeah, the keys to the truck. A little
And the
bit
truck itself?
away. Yep. The
And the
keys
truck
were not
itself
next
is
to
there?
the keys were not next to the truck. They were a little bit away.
And where's the truck right now?
Still in Walmart.
Okay, well, I'm going to go and drive over to Walmart, and as I do that, I'm going to call Eric and ask him to meet me there.
Well, he's still probably an hour and a half out.
Oh, all right. Then I'll just go to Walmart and take a look at that truck.
Probably about the time that MacArthur and Hurt have noticed that the cops have finally started to pull back. They haven't towed the truck or anything yet, but they did depart with these and that stuff. So the only other thing was, they did get a copy of the camera recordings that by the time Will's there, that he can have looked at.
Okay. And there was nothing on the recordings that kind of showed anything?
It was bad angle. It was poor quality and some kind of weird distortions on the camera footage, but that the Wal-Mart people just chalked up to these are old garbagey cameras.
Right. Well, I definitely will then go and take a look at that truck.
Now 3 of you are together. So Hurt was wanting to do something, I believe. He had mentioned something about discriminatory smell. Daniel, your mic is got the circle with the slash through it. He borked it.
Yeah, I think he's been demiked.
There.
Hey.
Okay. Don't do that.
I'm having problems. I lost one of my headphone speakers is out. It's freaking me out because now everything's one-sided.
It's always one-sided.
It's in stereo and I can't turn off stereo.
Weird. Get new headphones.
Well, I have to now.
Right.
At any
You
rate.
wanted to do something.
Right. So, yeah, I wanted to see if I could at least pick up a scent, although I honestly don't know what I can find.
Give me a perception, smell-based perception check.
Right.
Smell-based. That just always makes me laugh.
So we haven't had any luck on the video footage at all. Even Will.
As I stated, it was not a great angle, not great quality. I mean, have you seen the cameras at Walmart?
Right.
They're not great, and there's some weird distortions. Old crappy cameras. Right, we're waiting on Daniel.
Things are not where they're supposed to be.
What do you mean? What was not where it was supposed to be?
The modifier.
Is that not actually did I not have that modifier in there? I guess
No,
I don't have that modifier.
I don't
in
use
there.
those anyway. No, I was expecting to see it in one place in my quick keys, and it wasn't there.
Oh, right. All right. Success by 6.
I suppose I
right,
could
you
have
put
been
it in the
tracking,
tower.
though, which is where it would have been.
And you did that in the tower, so that means I didn't
Yes.
necessarily need to tell you that. but I did anyway.
Well, if
so,
they were tracking, it would be 2 points higher.
So in this case, there is a weird scent that doesn't seem to fit the other ones. You can't necessarily, you can't really place it because you haven't smelled it before, but it definitely doesn't smell entirely right. That's not, I'm not explaining that correctly.
Mhm.
It is most definitely out of place. Like, if I'm using the checks here, the what is it, the that cool clue thing that I don't know who was it, Mook? It may have been Mook. Somebody made that. That might be like a clue where I'm like checking against various skills and such like that in secret. That's why you're occasionally seeing me make weird rolls back there.
Right. Well, so the best I can think of off the top of my head would be to follow whatever scent there is to see if she was dragged, moved, etc., in a particular direction, and maybe there's the smell of a vehicle or something like that. I could probably pick out diesel from not diesel, that sort of thing. But it's probably the best I can do. I'm assuming she got put in a vehicle and driven off. Otherwise, there would be some kind of trail.
No, the smell in this case is really close to the truck.
Does it not trail off anywhere?
It does not.
That's
And
weird.
Is it something that only he can smell, or can we all smell it?
Only he can smell it because he's got discriminatory smell.
Well, what about this other new smell? Does that go somewhere?
What new smell? That was what I was talking about. There's a weird lingering scent that is like really close to the truck, and
Right.
he's not smelled that before.
Right.
It
Does
doesn't.
that go somewhere?
It does not go anywhere. It's like maybe in a sort of maybe a circle. Okay, not in a, so it doesn't go in a circle, but it's like, you can smell it up to a certain point in like a semicircular area, and then it's like, once you move out of that, it is you don't smell it anymore.
So as far as I can tell, they just poofed away.
That's possible.
Well, it isn't. Or is it?
Well, based off of what they were telling you about the weird demon angel lady, she just poofed away.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that. Okay, so that means so I don't have a second vehicle or anything like that. Just this particular situation. There's something else here. We don't know what it is. Not
There's
familiar.
probably too many other vehicles in the area to really be able to. I mean, it'd be difficult because you have all these police cars and other cars and such like that that are in the area.
Yeah, so I'll just basically tell everybody I can't find anything useful here. There's something else here, but I can't identify it.
I'd like to just look at that truck just for any physical signs of, weirdness.
Also worth noting is I did not pick up any sort of sulfur here, so I presume it's not the bad lady.
Well, there is no sulfur, so that possibly may be true. Maybe it's a proper vampire, and they've like taken her off to eat her.
So just again, looking over that vehicle, there's really nothing physical that catches my eye.
Nothing really. It looks like, a truck. It hasn't there's no real signs of major fight or anything like that. There's no blood pool.
Where did Mac find the keys?
Beside her vehicle.
Not beside her vehicle, a couple yards away. In that direction.
So in that direction. I don't know if that's suggestive of anything.
Once MacArthur points out, it's right here that they found it does occur to hurt, that is like the outer limit of the weird smell.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super creepy.
That's all I got.
Sorry, what was super creepy?
Probably the smell that just disappears. He's probably, because I figure Hurt is like gotten pretty damned accustomed to following scents, and they don't just normally stop like that. Okay, so let's see. So, you are. Well, how am I going to do that? How do we get Draven out of the clink?
Do we?
I don't know if he's going to get out of that. I mean, I don't think Hernandez is going to be willing to let the charges drop unless somebody forces that. And I don't know why they would.
Unless someone within the Department of Homeland Security was to put pressure on the local police department.
Yeah, I don't know him that well.
And honestly, everybody probably does react. Now that I think about it, everybody does react to Ryder negatively because he's callous and he's a bully.
They would probably charge him. He would be given a court date, and they'd let him go unless they have reason to hold him.
Yeah, it depends on how much they pissed him off, because that'll determine how much they trust him not to be a flight risk.
Yeah, and you have at least one person inside the department insisting that he's absolutely a flight risk, and they should throw the book at him. Also, he needs aspirin because maybe some Motrin.
But they can't keep him there forever. They have to charge him, and then I don't know, set a court date. But they can't keep him there forever without charging.
Yeah, but I think they can hold him overnight, which totally messes with me with my plan.
Or maybe Hernandez realizes that, although he got the shit kicked out of him, he was not really right in detaining a rider for so long.
Well, once Eric gets there and he's able to bring out his forensics tools and start really looking at the crime scene, can rule out Draven altogether.
Or maybe it becomes clear that Draven has an alibi that completely rules him out.
But it's the criminal battery that took place inside the interrogation room that is the thing that
Right.
is the problem.
It's
You
Right,
assaulted
but-
a police officer inside the police department.
It depends on how, Hernandez could realize he was being a little bit of a
There's
dick.
no way they don't have cameras on on you. So they may realize you're pushing him a little hard, but you lashed out and assaulted him.
Well, depends on how much he holds a grudge. He might
Who,
go,
Hernandez?
yeah,
He's gonna hold that.
he
Dude,
might go,
you've got
yeah,
to
okay, I
look at it as
pushed
an
too hard.
enemy.
I don't know.
Well,
Up to
what
you.
I'm saying is that what I'm trying to say is that if Eric gets to the scene and can rule out Draven as a suspect, then who knows? Maybe someone might be able to put pressure of getting Draven let go from what higher up, saying we need his expertise to find this missing
What
girl.
expertise?
Yeah, they
Just-
don't know who he is.
Well, true. So maybe at this point,
He's
Draven is
considered
stuck in
basically
jail.
sort of a local drifter almost.
So maybe at this point, Draven is going to just stay in jail at this point because of the role playing.
Yeah, no, what I was going to mention was that if they charge him, then they're probably going to move him out of this cell here and move him to the courthouse. So there is a period where he's going to be transitioning from one to the other.
So you want him to make an escape, so his charges are even
Well, who
worse.
knows what happens? His mom might show up and whatever.
I love the note, how Daniel's like, yeah, you should escape. So it's like, congratulations. Now Will either has to arrest him or so Finlay, it's a little after midnight and you are finally able to depart the library after the wizard is done with whatever it is that they're doing. And once you get outside and power up the phone, you will be able to, I believe it will immediately chime in as the, seeing the whole, hey, you've missed a bunch of calls from various other PCs. And actually, I don't know. I've never had my phone powered off during a Amber Alert and then powered it up. Does it actually immediately say, hey, Amber Alert?
No.
So he's just going to know that he missed a bunch of calls from the other PCs.
He'll sigh a bit, and it's midnight. I just finally finished, and there's a dozen calls. Hooray! Who will he call? He likes. Graham didn't seem that bad of a guy, so he'll give Graham a call and see what's up, if there's something he missed.
That seems to imply to me that the rest of us aren't good guys.
I would never state that to your face.
It's not a denial.
No, but I
It's
mean, it
what you
makes
got.
sense. Dr. Eric kind of grilled him about his sister. Will's the only one that kind of went to him for actual advice about the supernatural.
Yeah, I don't think Draven called him. Wait, Draven may have called him. No,
I did.
Draven didn't have time. And you as well. You might be a lowlife.
Ouch.
I mean, you ride around on a motorcycle. So yeah, he will. I guess he will call Will.
Yep.
Hey, Will, your phone rings.
Hello, sir. This is Finlay Byrne. I got several calls and was wondering if there was something that was going on.
Yes. Dr. Lopez's sister has been abducted.
That's a most unfortunate turn of events. What do we know?
Not much.
Yep. He's from England.
Not much, but unfortunately, where are you? And can you come and join us at the Wal-Mart parking lot?
I can, yes. I just left the school library. I will be there in insert appropriate amount of time here.
Very particular of you. Thank you.
Actually, I don't think it's very far. It's actually pretty close to the. Yeah. Good Lord, yeah, that's super close. Uh-oh, maybe it was Finlay.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, Finlay will go ahead and make his way over and join up with the party.
It doesn't feel like a party.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so Finlay is present. Hey, everybody's together except for Eric, who's still driving, and Draven, who got himself put in prison. Well, not yet. So once Finlay is present, what are we doing? Are we, well, obviously we're going to have to fill him in. Let me go through what we have. Finlay would have to actually look at the recordings, the cameras stuff, to determine anything with regards to the distortions, but I figure that's probably not out of the question.
And I think that'd be something that would interest him, because if it's just a crap camera, then if it's not, then maybe there's something he can tell about it.
Luckily, you are there at the Wal-Mart, so and Will can easily just go into the 24-hour Wal-Mart and say, hey, I need to see the camera stuff again, please. And they're not going to really gripe about it or complain about it. What Finlay will note, having actually trained in thaumatology, is the distortions that everyone has written off as crappy cameras is indicative of magic.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, it's magic.
So he'll in the room, he'll pull Will aside and let him know that that seems more of a magical nature than anything mundane. So there's hostile and supernatural acts in play.
I will identify the circle.
And that will cause him to frankly confirm it. So based off of, so effectively you have got the what. It is some sort of rogue caster or casters, depending, based off of the fact that there's this, once you identify the circle and Finlay can check that out, he is able to probably deduce that what happened is, the caster likely set down the circle beforehand, after the truck arrived. So this was very clearly premeditated. And trying to look up the the explanation of the circle, the way how that works. A circle, what they will end up doing, and quite frequently, is proper casters will often carry chalk in their pockets or something like that, or if you're out in the dirt, you can just grab a stick and you draw circles, such like that. It basically allows a caster to refine their magic, focus and direct it more clearly. It creates a sort of a screen defined by perimeter, keeping random magic energy from going past it, interfering from whatever it is that they are attempting to do.
Interesting.
So a circle is not actually wholly necessary for someone who is like a super awesome expert wizard. They can actually create a mental circle in their head, and they don't need it. But even then, they still use it because it allows them to isolate the area inside from any energies outside. And circles are effective and standard way to trap a spirit or something like that. I think GURPS does. GURPS Magic has the pentagram trap, I believe, which acts in a similar sort of way in that case. And they can also be utilized to cut off the flow of magic from a source. So if you have a necromancer who's creating a bunch of zombies, if you somehow manage to make a massive enough circle to encircle the zombies and the necromancer and empower said circle, the zombies will generally just collapse because they're no longer animated.
The more you know.
I believe based off of what Finlay has been taught, anyone can actually create a circle. It's just, it's still difficult if you don't know what the hell you're doing. So it's probably one of those where you don't necessarily need the major capability to create a circle, but even then. With regards to Eric, your question, that's a possibility. Maybe. I mean, that wouldn't be a question for me, would it?
I already asked Will. He said it may be a universe reaction roll.
That might work. Well, no, actually, that would be. Damn it, Daniel, the calling in a favor or something like that from duty. How does that? How do you determine that? Because what Fran Javier was inquiring is whether Will could potentially arrange for a state trooper escort for Eric, so he's able to ride faster.
So that would be based on rank if you don't have a patron.
He does have rank. He's rank 2 of police, and he's got duty 15.
So the rank 2 is going to be a pretty low.
Really?
Yeah. Rank 2 is not that high.
Yeah.
Well, there are not very many high ranks in a police department.
I would suspect the reason I thought perhaps a universe role simply because of the ability for them to actually task, to task someone to that when it's not exactly a police business matter.
But you might be able to tie it in that
What's
you have a forensics guy coming to a scene to investigate. So I need him to get here faster.
What's the point level of that rank? Is it 5?
Yeah, he's spent 10 points in it.
10.
Okay.
10. 1010. 1010.
Yeah, there's a thing in social engineering, pulling rank, I think it is.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I'm
why I was
looking at.
asking Daniel, because I know he's read that in more in depth than I have.
So you got 10 points and a 5 per level. And your rank is 2. So, okay. Looks like the roll's going to be 9 at base. So that'll be
my rules?
modified by appropriateness and all kinds of other stuff, but that's the base roll.
Yeah, he can make that roll, and
And what am I rule?
just 3d6, and you'd want to roll a 9 or less. It's actually probably going to be a little higher than that, but I'm not sure. As long as you don't roll like a 16 or anything. 11. What are the listed modifiers there, Daniel?
Well, let's see. So this would be an assistance roll. Types of assistance. Crap. Right. This is not authorization. This is not covert activity. Information material. Material aid, maybe.
Or I could just call, Deputy Ed and say, Ed, got a case of beer for you. Do me a favor.
Technical assistance, maybe.
That's kind of what you're doing. Because it looks like a 9 is the if the 9 is the target. I'm wondering about the modifiers of 2.
Well,
If
there's
they're-
always the 1 to 5 for story appropriateness, and then 1 to 5 for
sure.
appropriateness of the request.
So sure, he can get on the phone and contact, the dispatch and talk to the guy who interrupted your weekend off, which you had already signed off on, and so technically you shouldn't have been called in on duty, and you're able to say, yeah, well, I need you to do me a favor, and you can arrange a state trooper who happens to be in that direction, because I'm fairly certain there actually is a state trooper thing that's like just north of the real life Truth or Consequences, and they will be able to arrange to meet Eric and get him here probably, I don't know, 30 minutes earlier. So rather than 12:30, he can likely be here at noon, or not noon, midnight.
Whatever helps, right?
Excellent.
Right.
Excellent.
Okay, so yes, so he will be there by midnight, and that won't be particularly difficult. And let's see. So, oh, right, yeah, and I did say it was about midnight when Finlay was coming out. So Finlay will be arriving roughly at the same sort of time. So, wow, the whole team is assembled
Yay,
except
finally
for
all here.
the guy who's in prison or in jail because he attacked a dude.
He had it coming.
Almost all here.
So I'll simply repeat all the information I have to Eric using my photographic memory, so that I simply relay the whole story.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything that Eric can do to assist with the crime scene? that hasn't already been done yet. Based on what he has heard, is he getting any sense that maybe vampires are involved? Is this an occult matter? Is this, which way is Eric you think is going to lean? I do have criminology I could roll. I do have the medic, which does have the forensics, so I could do additional testing on the crime scene.
Right. So once Finlay is brought on board and also debriefed and looks over the medical stuff, not the medical stuff, the camera stuff and such like that, he has basically identified the culprits as rogue casters of some sort. So warlocks, witches, something like that.
So not vampires.
There are recorded instances of vampires being more than capable of casting spells. But he, that thus far, as far as he could tell, it looked more like it was casters of some sort, and it did seem to him, at least, that it was not necessarily a spur of the moment thing. It seems like they had more likely targeted her intentionally. So that could go back to your possible vampires.
It could be possible vampires. Would a hidden lore vampire or expert skill vampirology help narrow down anything?
The expert skill is not going to be to come into a lot of use. That is more like, hey, did you watch Blade or Buffy or all of the vampire movies and stuff like that? So that's more like popular culture vampire stuff. As to the hidden lore, well, I mean, I don't know how it would necessarily help in this case. It wouldn't
Could rule it out.
hurt. Yeah, I mean, well, he can't necessarily rule it out because he is aware that there are some vampires who can cast spells.
Maybe I know from maybe I can pinpoint a name or certain vampires that I know that might be in the area that
You
are
don't know
casters.
any vampires.
I don't know any vampires. Okay.
You don't want to know any vampires.
True.
They're
I
like
won't.
a bunch of assholes. They're like Ryder, except with sharp teeth.
So what do we know? Where are we at, gentlemen? What do we know? How can we get Faith back?
Well, apparently punching police officers is not the way to do it.
No, I would argue our best plan is to find her and stop whoever did this.
Yeah, you probably need something a bit more specific, though. At this point, since we've identified the situation as most likely being magic, then the only thing we could do is if we could have the ability to trace this. And I don't know if Finlay can do that.
I don't know.
Unless Finlay
Yeah,
can do that.
If only he had actually paid attention to his character, looked at it, saw what he could do. But he's
Well,
a
I'm
slacker, so
Like, I know he's got thaumatology and the path of magic and all that. I just don't know if
the car or the keys. Oh my gosh, dude. That's what you do. That's your ability.
I forget about psychometry.
Well, the keys aren't here.
I'm wondering how long has Mark been sitting there, like
For a while. Oh my
looking
gosh.
like that dude who's about to crap his pants. Have you seen that meme?
I don't think so.
I have to try to find it.
No, I don't think I've heard of that one either.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother looking because but it's just like it's basically a guy sitting next to a guy. It sort of looks like they're in school or college or something like that. But he just looks like he's about to crap his pants because he's like, "Ah!"
Oh yes, I do know. I think I know what you're talking about now.
But Andricus, they love you and they care about you.
I don't know.
I'm gonna call shenanigans on that. I don't think that's accurate.
No. So yeah, I'll psychometry the thing.
So give me an IQ check in the box, please. Okay, so I did this last at the end of last session, but this is basically the flash that he does experience. What he does sort of notice when he when this happens is whoever is responsible is actively hidden from view from him, which implies like a veil, magical veil of illusion, or I guess it would be the equivalent of the invisibility power advantage or spell. And I am looking to see if that adds any additional stuff. Yeah, that's actually a valid point from Eric. Is since Hurt is now fully comfortable with his capabilities, he will definitely be able to note that Eric does smell a little weird.
Well, I think we had already established that, but since you bring it up, does that unusual smell
No,
Like that?
reflect that at all? So,
no.
although I would expect Dr. Lopez's smell to be somewhat different from a real vampire, were that the case?
That's probably true, but he doesn't smell like a normal person either. Although, to be fair, I guess MacArthur probably smells a little different in that regard too.
Well, he might
but-
not, because he's not physically any different.
That's possibly true. Yeah. Definitely knows the Uctina girls smell different.
Hmm.
Okay. So, man, Brian really went and wrong-footed me. Way to go! I have to give you a kudos there, Brian, for doing that.
Could always post bail.
Yeah, I was totally not expecting that. Well, I am not sure how much the bail is for that, and it is a criminal assault.
Well, they're not gonna set bail until he's been arraigned.
Yeah. So way to baffle the GM. Major props
Or
on that.
the other option is that Hernandez just drops the charges because he realizes,
Yeah,
dried
but
up.
he's not gonna do that.
Depends on
You're
what sort
gonna
of
have
person
to
he is.
convince him to do that.
You know,
I don't know, does he have a lot of pride, or does he go, "Yeah, I was being a dick. I had that coming." Depends on what sort of cop he is.
Remember what I said at the beginning, though, with regards to the fact that he's listed as the enemy. He is absolutely 100% convinced that you were involved in, and he's technically correct, that you were involved in the house invasion that led to a citizen of Apocalypse dying, and he just doesn't have the proof to pin it on you.
How is he convinced?
He's
doesn't
been
matter.
doing investigations, and there's enough circumstantial stuff to tie you to it. I mean, you were observed with a woman who was, turns out to be your mom, having dinner with or breakfast with her, and she was basically observed or described by some of the people that that saw, her go in the front door, and so it's like, hey, that ties them together. There's a very large person-shaped hole in the wall that requires someone who is of significant size to have been in there. Lots of circumstantial evidence.
It's all very weak, but I can think of one reason why he might let him go. And that is he thinks he's going to lead him somewhere.
That works.
That might work, yes. So let's see.
Is this a genuine conversation amongst the PCs or just
No.
No, this is
conversation
mostly,
amongst players?
mostly on the players.
It's the players
were you
trying to
gonna chime in?
figure out a way to get the other player back into the actual game.
Because, he went and got himself arrested. Yeah, I think I can probably go with that line of reasoning where one of the, like Sheriff Hooker ends up coming in there and advising Draven that he is going to be facing a criminal battery charge, but they have to wait until the sheriff or the court is actually back, because it's like going to be closed tomorrow for renovations and some other explanatory such like that. But so they are temporarily allowing him or releasing him on his own recognizance. But he is, they will be contacting him and keeping an eye on him, and he will be required to attend said arraignment.
Which means they're probably going to follow him wherever he goes, and he's going to end up at the Wal-Mart parking lot with the rest of us.
Looking at Draven's stats, or skills, he doesn't have anything like detect lies or body language, does he? Nope, doesn't look that way.
He's got a good perception, though.
Yeah, but detect lies is something that can't be used untrained. Is that right? That might be wrong.
I think it's body language.
His body language is the one that you can't use untrained, I think.
Body language defaults: detect lies -4 or psychology -4. Detect lies is perception -6, body language -4, or psychology -4. So based off of that perception roll, success by 5 is a not good enough. So he has no idea that whether
Is
she's
it not
lying
a
or
contest?
Yeah. Did you not see me rolling back here? I rolled pretty well.
Okay.
I rolled better than you did. Like 2 points lower than you did. Neener. So if she's lying, he can't tell. She's, seems to be telling him the truth.
Oh, this is Hooker letting him go.
Yep. because it probably made more sense for that to happen than Hernandez, because Hernandez would be
that's
like,
true.
no, I ain't letting him go. In fact, as he's leaving, he may hear Hernandez still shouting at the lieutenant, or arguing with the lieutenant. All right, so Draven is released, but is aware he is probably going to be arraigned for criminal battery. Now, that is something that I am going to have to look up.
So can I,
Yep.
Can I possibly somehow be involved in this discussion that they're having about him, or are they going to discover that he's coming over and I'm there, right? Like,
I don't know. They are likely going to be releasing him around midnight 30.
well, I mean, I can go back. I can go back and see if I can't interdict in this situation.
Well, they didn't necessarily inform you that was going on.
No, probably not.
Assuming that they're going to be following, Draven's going to try and lose them.
Let's see. That means they are likely going to be doing a shadowing attempt. I have to look up how shadowing works again. So it
What is the lose a
quick
tail?
contacts every 10 minutes. My shadowing versus your vision roll. What is my shadow?
Probably not
Yeah.
super great.
Right. So you make a vision-based perception check there, Ryder.
Well, that is assuming that they're trying to stay hidden.
Well, they're not going to. They've got a missing girl on there. They're not gonna. Okay, so that is success by 0. So that's going to be probably success by 3. So okay, so that means they lost the subject. Yes. If you lose, you lost the subject. So that means you managed to successfully lose them. You did not see them because they did not lose by more than 5, but you're probably thinking, yeah, they're following me somehow. But you are fairly confident that you are no longer being shadowed.
Then Draven will call Will and say that, they'll let me go. I'm pretty sure that they're no longer following me. But is there any update on the girl?
And I'll say, no, not an update on the girl, although Finlay has come here and sensed something. I don't quite understand it all. You might want to talk to him. And then I'm going to say, I may understand why they've let you go, but I say, and I do mean this with sincerity, if you strike another officer again, I will personally haul you back to jail myself. Are we clear?
There's a long pause.
Because
Will is like, did I lose connection?
Because this is Will's code of honor with police coming forward.
Well, in this case, the little shit deserved it. But, alright. We have a deal.
Good. And I hang up and wait for him to arrive. Well, hang on. Before I hang up, I say, just wait a second, Draven. And I look over at the others and I say, is there anything more we need to do here, or can we relocate somewhere?
I think we probably found what we're going to find at the scene, unless Finlay has some other way to trace what happened. And we are, standing around a Wal-Mart parking lot after midnight.
And that can lead to no good. So I'm going to recommend that we be less conspicuous, and I look over at Homeland and say, where can we all meet?
Asking me, man? I don't live here.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't consider myself living here. I've only been here for how many weeks?
I say, hold that thought. I know exactly where we're going to go. And I give them the address to Terrence's house.
Okay. I was gonna suggest the school and then take that back immediately, because hanging out at the high school after midnight is probably not much better.
Especially
is it
after
not?
someone's been missing. Okay, so everyone is heading toward Terrence's place.
I
Question
presume you
mark.
informed Terrence.
No. So I'll have a little conversation with everybody before we knock on the door.
Well, it'll take a couple minutes to get there. During which time your phone is going to ring again. Will, man, you are really, really super busy today.
So I look at the number. Do I recognize it?
Do not recognize it.
And let it go to voicemail.
Okay. And everyone will end up arriving at Terrence's place. And whoever it was didn't leave a message.
And I gather everybody around and I say, okay, a little bit of background. The man who lives here used to be my supervisor in the agency. He doesn't know anything about any of you, but he knows something about the weirdness I've been experiencing. Actually. And I'm going to ask everyone to just be cool, because I think this might be a safe place for us to hang out. Man.
Well, Terrence is going to answer the banging at the door with a shotgun, because he doesn't know who the hell is banging on his door after midnight.
I said, Terrence, we need to come in. We need a safe space.
And he's going to give everybody a look like, who the hell? Holy cow, that dude's big. Well,
sooner the better.
Okay.
So I'll just pull Terrence back outside on the stoop of the house for just a moment to let him know what's going on.
All right. Okay, so everyone is finally assembled. Yay! I'm gonna have to actually do actual research. Damn it, Brian.
And while you're doing research, I'm going to just, Will is simply going to explain a little bit about what it was that brought him to Apocalypse. And then he's going to mention the serial killer, Charles.
Who's he explaining this to?
The whole group.
Okay. So Terrence, he's like, just don't break anything. I'm too old for this crap. I had entirely too much bourbon. I'm going to go take a nap.
And I'm going to go
stumble off the bed.
And I will stumble over to his liquor cabinet and get the bourbon.
There's a bit less of it in there
Don't
than
mind
there
if
was.
I do.
In that case, Draven's going to the fridge.
I'll find a beer.
Bunch of jerks. Anyway,
I know, right?
So I will explain to everybody while they're drinking and eating and munching that a little bit about the history of Charles, and that I'm now very curious about whether Charles is implicated in any of this strangeness.
So Finlay didn't actually see. Did he not see anything at all of the guy, or like did he see his hands or anything like that?
Anything.
No. It was more like the sort of the predator cloak thing, which made him go, this person is actively operating under a magical veil.
So I suppose if for example this were Charles, that he might have that as somewhat of an MO.
But that doesn't give us anything more than we already knew. We knew it
Well,
was somebody magic.
If Terrence's research has Charles as some kind of weird caster situation, and he's been known to be invisible, then that might be a link there.
He's not known to be a caster, or in fact, that's not even entered Terrence's theories. It is possible that they could explain how he managed to escape a handful of not ambushes. That's not the proper word, but I guess ambushes is technically
Capture
correct.
attempts.
How he just like, hey, we know he's in there, and then when they assault, there's nobody there, sort of thing. Which they just ended up always chalking up to him being, ahead of everybody else.
I just find it strange that I should get a call from him to check in on Terrence, and then all this weirdness just launches.
You will get a text message from an unknown number that says, answer me. And then a moment later, the phone rings.
I look over at Finlay and say, come here a second.
Okay.
How
can I be of assistance?
And I say, I'm going to answer this phone, and I want you to listen in on the conversation.
Very well.
So I answer the phone and kind of hold it so that Finlay's young ears can hear as well as I. And I go, Lieutenant Graham.
And a very familiar voice says, hello, William. It's been a very long time since we spoke. And I need Will to make his phobia check.
Right.
Damn, that just occurred to me. I should have totally done a person, not a person, but one of my personality images with a big question mark or something
or a
there.
silhouette.
A silhouette, yeah. I think you just have to roll 9 or less.
Right.
Fail. Damn it, you didn't fail. That's disappointing. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a will. It would have been 9 or less. But you succeeded by 3. But yes, this is most definitely. You definitely recognize Charles's voice.
Well, hello, Charles.
I see you're doing well. But that's not important. I understand that a girl has been abducted using my methods.
Your methods. Now it's my turn to ask a question. How do you know about this?
I have my ways.
I'm sure you do. Well then, what is it you want from me, Charles?
I cannot allow someone to utilize my methods. This simply cannot stand. This girl, Faith, is it? She's far too old for my taste, no matter her very lovely name. Once they pass their age, well, they're no longer so fresh. But I suppose I can see the appeal.
Well, Charles, we could always go and have a friendly cup of coffee down at the Piggly Quiggly and talk about it.
We're talking now.
Well, like face to face.
What? You wish another injury?
I cringe.
Oh crap! Yeah, we totally forgot to have you roll for chronic pain, didn't we?
That's nothing like the present.
That's right. It's like maybe he says that and you go, "Oh, right. Thanks for reminding me." Ow, ow.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
That means you're okay. Oh, 9 or less, right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't mean I'm okay.
Yeah, it means it's like ow, 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 ow.
So I hold my breath. Damn you, Charles. So why are you calling? What do you want from me, Charles?
Shall we play a game then? I shall present you with a clue and allow you to bumble along until because you and yours are so very incompetent, and the girl is inevitably sacrificed during the new moon.
Well, very well. Give me the clue.
Everyone at the funeral saw her reaction when her brother was stabbed. She's extremely strong, surprisingly fast for a girl her age. So, abducting a girl with those capabilities would not be easy. But keeping her restrained would be even more difficult. So you must ask yourself, where? It would need to be isolated enough that she could not be heard, yet still close enough that they could monitor the search. And surely such a place that serves this purpose comes to mind. And then he just straight up hangs up.
All right. So I grab my side and then I look at Finlay and say, "Can you do something with the phone? Touch it, lick it, kiss it?"
That's not how
And
that works.
I hurl the phone into his hands and sit down.
The first one, yes. The latter two, no. I don't do that.
Can I get everybody to roll 3d6 into the box for me, please?
Can I roll it as area knowledge?
Just roll 3d6 in the box, please.
Is this the first time I'm noticing?
Is
Is this the first time I'm noticing the word "fnord" when you hover the dice over the box?
I don't know. Is it the first time you've noticed that?
Finord.
Am I seeing things?
Yes, you are in fact seeing things.
Okay, now the game is slipping into reality.
Wow, you guys are some crappy rollers.
Well, we haven't rolled enough to get the bad rolls out.
Should I luck my roll?
Okay, no, not all of you are crappy rolls. And this is probably appropriate that one of the characters that has the crazy, stupid photographic memory notices this. The based off of what Charles just said, he referenced the new moon, and Finlay, having a photographic memory and just randomly not, sucking on his rolls like everybody else did, is able to actually go, hey, wait a minute, the new moon isn't until the 25th, so that's like, a little more than a week from today. That is that part. And
Are there any facilities or places around here called New Moon?
I was thinking the slaughterhouse, but I have no idea.
One of the factories was my guess.
Let's see. I actually did want to, and let's see who would possibly. So, could I also get Finlay and Eric and MacArthur to make a 3d6 roll in the box? Nobody else, because even with the bonuses stuff, you can't possibly succeed. Okay, so that answered that. So with regards to what was the thing, the reference to the factories, one of them is actually active. The closer one is active.
Right, that's the
Old
refinery.
King Refinery on the other side of the Rio Grande. The old glass factory to the north of the city is abandoned, but it's technically on Utina ground territory. But
it is close enough.
It's close, and if it's abandoned, then less likely for someone to come across her.
And it's probably a decent place to start. Are there any other abandoned things around town that would fit that sort of motif?
Would Hurt have any clue
Or is
about
that the
New
most
Moon?
obvious? No.
why would Hurt have any clue about the new moon?
He's not a werewolf.
He's just banging werewolves.
That's so he doesn't realize that he's banging werewolves.
Well, they're not turning into werewolves.
Technically,
not
he
be
doesn't
werewolves.
know that for a fact, but he's probably suspecting
And I could
that.
totally sort of swerve and go, nope, they actually wear gaiters.
That would be weird.
Weren't expecting that, were you?
They wear gaiters.
Hey, they
Well,
exist.
You had mentioned the slaughterhouse that is in town, but it is not as isolated. I mean, it's in town, and I guess that could work. Damn it! I keep going left instead of right for the I'm trying to resize my map to get it back, and it's like I keep going sharing instead of view.
Oh.
So yeah, it's up to you guys.
I'm feeling the old glass factory myself.
Wal-Mart is on the end closest to the glass factory, so that is a good bet.
If you're looking at the map, I am currently pointing at Wal-Mart. It is there.
So yeah, straight shot, easy getaway.
Yeah, it's worth the drive around at least.
I'm trying to read all the descriptions of these places. See if there's any mention of.
mentions a place. What are you talking about?
In the descriptors, like anything that says moon.
Oh,
I do not think I have any that have moon in the name, but I could be lying.
there's one pin that apparently doesn't have a tooltip on it.
There is? Where?
Yeah, it's to the right
Point
of the
to it?
slaughterhouse.
Okay, I see a thing there. Maybe I just need to
Interesting.
share it again. That was the Kemper house. That was where
Right. And now it's
Draven went
there.
in and okay, I guess I failed to share it properly then. Where Draven went in and chopped a poor guy's arm off,
Right.
and his mom apparently got possessed or joined up with a fallen angel or something.
So wait a minute. If this guy is copycatting Will's suspect or person that he knows, where do the crime scenes normally occur?
I asked the question again. I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
What I'm trying to say is, because it sounds like a copycat situation, right?
Yeah.
If he is truly copycatting, then what does Will by chance know the crime scenes or the locations that where these women disappeared from, based on his photographic memory and reviewing of evidence and stuff like that? And can he correlate that to possibly it would be the old glass factory because it's abandoned and it's close by?
With regards to where they disappear from, that is the disappearance from the Wal-Mart is very much in character for a Charles abduction slash murder, where normally the person would just or the girl would just disappear in broad daylight and nobody knew how. As to where the bodies ended up, there actually seemed to be no actual real rhyme or reason. They would just, show up sometimes on the side of the road, or sometimes in a different in an abandoned house, sometimes in an occupied house.
Anything that's on a street with moon in it. Is there a Moon Street or Luna Street
There is
or
not.
I thought I saw Luna something. I could be imagining that.
Does
though.
is there like a common occurrence amongst the victims? Are they common wounds that were found? How did they die? Et cetera, et cetera.
Let's see. So, based off of what Will can tell you, now that he's actually thinking about it, even though he's kind of probably a little bit in some pain because of whatever reason, the whole abduction of Faith has probably been bothering him at the back of his brain. Like there's something not quite right about this, and after Charles mentioned it on the phone that she's too old, that absolutely is the thing that causes it to go click. Yes, all of his suspect or all of his victims have been 9 years or between 6 and 9.
So
So-
single digits.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you, from Eric's standpoint, with his hidden lore on vampires, does that seem to be an age frame for the victims? For majority of vampires, they like young blood.
No, vampires are just they will drink anybody.
Okay. Just trying to see if there's a common occurrence. So young victims. So this is definitely a copycat. They're not but so did he mention that too bad we can't get a hold of your friend again and find out where he commits the crimes.
Why would he tell them that?
Yeah, right. That would be kind of.
So I just want to look at that number and see. I'll Google it. Where is it? You know, what area code is it sitting in?
Apocalypse. Actually, I'd have to double check that. I'm not sure what. It's going to be an area that is going to include Apocalypse. I'm not positive. Apocalypse has its own. I doubt it. It's probably Las Cruces.
So I received a wound from Charles. Do I know
But
what
you never
Charles
saw
looked
it.
like?
You never saw it.
I never saw it, but I received a wound.
Yeah, it was during one of the capture attempts, and it's just like somehow he got out of the cordon and, like, I don't know, stabbed you or something, and like told you he'd be seeing you soon, and then disappeared.
All right.
Well, not
So-
poof disappeared, but just managed to escape.
All right. So I say, well, so he clearly was watching us at the funeral.
Do we have any video or anything at the funeral?
Why would you videotape a funeral?
I don't know.
Would anybody have possibly taken any photographs? That even be a possibility?
Only in my memory.
Security cameras, maybe?
and Finlay wasn't there.
It's
That's
a
right.
graveyard. It doesn't really have, that particular one doesn't have any cameras.
Any mausoleums on the graveyard that had moon iconography?
It's not there. It's not sufficiently large to have mausoleums. They're just grave sites.
Why don't we go to the glass factory and at least rule it out?
That sounds like a idea to me. I think that would be a good
Yep.
idea. With
Let's
area
do it.
knowledge, apocalypse and environs, can I get any knowledge about that glass factory?
Probably, yeah.
So Hugh's gonna remember something that the pastors told him one time, and that, you know, when sometimes, you know, you just don't understand or don't know, you just got to reach out and pray. So he's gonna kind of look awkwardly and kind of just kneel down and start praying that something might, you know, illuminate.
Is
One,
that what
him
we've
or
come to now?
others. Hey,
No, whatever works, man.
So I linked the thing for not Draven, for Eric or Fran Javier about the glass factory.
The GM has gone to effort to detail the glass factory. Let's go there.
It's kind of been there for like several weeks. It's one of the locations in town that everybody has mentioned. I've been
Don't
trying to
go.
find
don't
an
go
image
to
of
the
the
boathouse.
that would work for the slaughterhouse, but I couldn't really find one.
He's even put a very conspicuous arrow pointing to a window.
Oh,
Awesome. Let's go through that window.
Well, but the other thing is someplace that they could watch the the investigation and still be close enough at hand. which kind of makes me think slaughterhouse. But how does all
Well, it
that
is
kind of
closer,
like tie into the word moon? The only thing I can think of with the glass factory
Well,
is
where you're-
Utina, moon.
It may be
Whatever.
literal.
But it may be moon because we just don't know that the Yucatina tribe are werewolves. We don't know
Right.
that.
I
as
don't think
characters.
that's gonna have anything
But
to do with
based
it.
on looking at the information, what we know about the slaughterhouse and all the back history that we know about it, that's a place where people have a tendency to disappear. Might be a good idea for us just to rule it out at this point.
Okay, to head off Mark doing more randomness into the moon thing, he specifically stated that the girl would inevitably be sacrificed during the new moon, not at the new moon, but during,
Oh, so it's more of
which led
a gives it
to
a timeline.
which led to the comment to that Finlay realized, since he has the crazy high intelligence thing, that the new moon is on the 25th of this month.
So not so much a clue as to where, but more a clue as to when or how much time we have. Gotcha.
All right, so Draven is grabbing his stuff and he's heading out the door saying, I'm going to check out the glass factory. If you want to join me, join me.
I'll go.
Nah, Mark's gonna go off to the slaughterhouse by himself.
Eric will go. He'll make
Draven would
Draven
advise
allow
against
himself
going to the slaughterhouse because the GM hasn't done any info on the slaughterhouse.
No, he has.
That's
It's in there.
technically
Oh, yeah.
not true. It's just I haven't put an image of it there because I can't find one that works correctly.
The other thing I would say is, does anybody have any contacts on the Yucatina reservation that have noticed any unusual movements or something going on at the glass factory?
That's gonna be a
No.
nope.
No, nobody has any contacts with the Octana.
Even the person banging Yucatina people?
You don't know about that?
I know my character doesn't, but the player does.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
No, I mean we're about to walk out the door and head that way, so we'll just do that. But I might give Jessica a call later. It's late.
Yeah, you can call her for a booty call later.
That's not what I meant.
That's totally what you meant.
That's what
Well,
everyone
if-
inferred, but that's not what I
it-
implied.
If the glass factory is where it's at, then the glass factory we go.
I don't know. It sounded like you wanted to go to the slaughterhouse by yourself.
I do, but everyone's convinced it's the glass, so let's
screw
go to the
them.
glass.
You should say screw them and go off to the haunted, ghost house.
Don't be afraid to
Well-
split the party. What could possibly go wrong?
I know. Well,
It'd be
my
funny. He
problem
walks
is
into
I don't.
he
Well,
walks into
what
the
did
slaughterhouse
the-
and appears at the glass factory.
So,
How did that happen?
wait a minute. So Eric will see you kneel and pray. Did you get an answer?
From what the pastor said, is sometimes God works in mysterious ways, and His mind is not our own. So, it seems like the glass factory seems to be the what everyone seems to be fixated on. Maybe that's our answer. So let's go to the glass factory. I might need my shotgun.
Yeah, we'll make sure we're kitted up before we go.
What kind of kit do you have?
I got stuff.
No, actually, that's true. I don't have a clue what does Eric actually normally carry into that sort of thing.
He has
All right, he has a pussy
Walter.
pistol.
He has a Walter P999, wooden stake, tactical flashlight.
So he's not really kitted up per se. He shows up with the pistol, and then Hurt shows up in his battle rattle with a rifle and stuff like that. I'm like, what's up with that, man?
Yeah, we'll have to teach him how to do this. Yeah, definitely want to kit up, and we don't want to take too long doing it. So, I mean, if we're just going to recon, we can just go to recon. I hate to go off half-cocked, though.
Eric's kind of a James Bond fanatic, so that's why he has the Walter P99.
Well, I don't recall what hotel I was lodged at. If I'm actually still at the hotel.
Probably just use the same one that what's his name is in. The Dude Hotel.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. If
With the lovely
Draven
bent
is
sign.
there, Draven was there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good because we both got the most kit to get anyway, so we'll just go there together, I guess.
Okay, so I'm gonna have Hurt and Ryder both give me a perception check in the box, please. Vision based.
Uh-huh.
Perception or observation?
Let's see if we're being followed.
I don't remember what the difference is. In this case, I was just going to use perception. Is there a significant difference between the two skills for you?
It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, you mean between the levels?
No, I mean, he was like asking perception or observation.
Actually, my perception's better, so I'll use it.
Oh well, that case, I want you to roll. No, I'm fine. And I believe both of you have night vision of at least 4 or greater. Is that right?
Yeah.
5, I think.
Yeah, 4 or greater. So the two of you will be able, as you're pulling up there, there is definitely like a one of the police car thing, or one of the police is like staking that place out.
Oh, the hotel.
Yep.
Right.
And Ryder probably
Figures.
has a pretty good idea why.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure I want to be seen with you, man.
Shove. Oh wait, you didn't even move.
Is there a back door?
Not to your apartment.
Like,
Not apartment, but a room. But yeah, I'm certain that the two of you are sufficiently good with stealth that as long as you don't foobar a stealth roll, that you can get in and get out without being seen.
You just gotta push the crappy window AC out of the back window. That's like
We can sneak. Can be sneaky. Oh, right.
I think I want to lock that.
You're so gonna regret that.
Well,
They
not
just
with it
margin
being
critted the stuff.
super close.
I will stick bananas in the tailpipe of the police car.
Don't ask him where he got the bananas. But the two of you are able to easily sneak to your rooms without being detected, obtain your respective gear, and sneak out also without being detected. So,
By
good
the
job.
detective.
By the way, this is just because Eric is who he is. He will be diagnosing Will in terms of his pain and seeing if it's something he could treat in the future.
Yeah, I don't know actually how that would work other than Will buying the thing off.
Well, yeah, if he were to treat him, it would just be an excuse to buy off the dishat. But diagnosing it, I don't know. It may just be diagnosis, but you probably need a lab for that, depending on what it is.
Well, let's see. I mean,
No, he's got the crazy medic medic with the exclamation.
That's true. We might be able to
So-
tell exactly what it is just by smell.
He got stabbed once and it didn't heal right.
Long blade, went deep. He twisted. And he's a twisted bastard for doing it.
I wonder, can surgery fix that?
Right in the sweet spot.
No, if he's
Just
sweet
missed
spot,
it.
he'd be dead.
Yeah, just missed the sweet spot.
Maybe he did that intentionally.
Maybe.
Oh my God, I've got a sneeze that's like slowly building up, and I'm like, I just know it's gonna show up when I don't want it to.
All right, so that shouldn't take us, I don't know,
Nope.
15 minutes. Get there and back. Or,
Well, that's for
we
you
could
guys.
just meet up at the glass factory or whatever. You guys,
Set a time. Say, hey, we meet up like on the
yeah,
road up towards there at X time.
yeah.
All right, done. Are you driving into there, or are you proceeding on foot after you meet up?
I would recommend going on foot.
Because even though we've got the picture here, the sky is all wrong because it's like 1:30 in the morning. So it's kind of dark.
Are there any lights? Lights on?
There are none. I don't have the thing. Ah, crap.
How is it that we ended up coming here after midnight?
Because we hung out at Walmart until after midnight, and then we went to Agila's place and talked about it, which, it's probably 2 a.m. now.
It'd be better lighting in the morning.
You haven't been a character in a horror movie enough.
Yeah, I just gotta say, with all the things that have been going on, it seems to me that coming back in the morning is sensible.
But there was that business about abducted kids getting killed within 5 hours, typically. So time is of the essence.
So illumination's apparently 63.6% with the moon.
Right. This is
Midway between full and half.
yeah. So that's not too bad.
However, it does seem quite a bit darker here than it should. As soon as you get within visual range of the factory, there's just this ominous atmosphere that immediately puts all of you on edge. Everything seems more dangerous. The exposed girders look sharper. The rocks seem more like monsters lurking in the background. That sort of thing.
What's the ambient music doing?
It's
It
real
has gone-
creepy.
Yeah, it's super creepy. There's the squealing piano, not piano, but I think it's violin. I don't remember what it is. Do you remember the Joker theme from Dark Knight? It's got that high pitched squeal every now and then, but it's not terrible. There is a strange but impossible to miss animal-like musk that's really heavy in the air. It does not match the weird smell that Hurt smelled previous. And actually, looking at my stupid image, in front of where that pseudo arrow thing is, there is this weird looking maybe altar? Question mark?
Dude.
Let's see. I know Finlay can make a 3-6 check. I believe Ryder can.
Is this on a particular
Occultism.
skill?
Yeah, but I'm not telling you what the skill is. Not until you know. And
Occultism?
it looks like Hurt can. If you have occultism, you might be able to. Wow.
Hidden lore, angels or demons?
Hold on. I have to look at something really quickly. All right. So, wow. Eric rolled like garbage. Way to roll, Eric.
You want me to
Rolled
luck
so
it?
badly, made a genius
No,
on
you
us.
probably don't. You don't need to. Both Hurt and Finley are going to be able to recognize that this is indicative of this place being adopted as a lair of what they would have. They have read as forest people, sometimes referred to as Bigfoot or Sasquatch or Yeti.
Hey, Finley, isn't that
Ryder-
Sasquatch thing you were talking
Ryder
about?
has read about
yes.
this a lot, apparently, based off of his role, because it was going off of cryptozoology, but even though he rolled off of occultism, and I have to share his role. So the fact that there are skulls present on the altar thingy implies that this is Warpath, more frequently known as Genosqua, I think it's called, which is potentially very bad. They are known to be ill-tempered, intolerant, inhumanly strong, murderous monsters, just like Finlay, or just like Draven.
Now, that word you just said, is that the one that Jessica mentioned to me when we were talking at the blown up cabin?
I don't remember her
Or
mentioning
was that, maybe that was Begay?
Those are the
That may have been
bad
Begay. I
Sasquatch.
Are you
asked,
talking about Nimmergar? What
no,
they were calling
not that. So one of them, when I was talking to him, mentioned Sasquatches and mentioned a specific kind of Sasquatch. And I think that was the word.
Genosqua are the bad ones. They're
They
the
are
naughty
the
ones.
Warpath. Yeah. I would have to go back and re-listen to, because I don't actually have a specific reference in my notes, but it's entirely possible that that is the case. Yes.
Well, I'll point that out to Finley while we're talking about it, but it said that one of those might have been operating in the area too.
Oh, no.
Then that may be the case. Yes. And as you get within visual of that, and you're able to sort of the 3 PCs that actually go, oh, I know what this is. You will hear a rumbling voice that it's like very very low, very very bass, growling, "Get out!"
Looking to the direction of the voice.
All right. Remember, Eric has really good night vision, so
No,
he will
he's
look
got
too.
dark vision.
Yeah.
Does anyone mention this Genosqua thing?
Well, we were probably trying to be fairly quiet about it, but I talked to Finley about that at least.
Yeah, and he'd whisper the "oh no," and so
Perception
That might
roll
be
to
caught
see
up.
the source.
Yeah, you can try. Identifying the actual location is going to be a little bit difficult because it's not really. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily coming from one direction or anything like that. Logical
reason-
presumption is like coming from inside the building, though.
He will just like, hey, we're looking for a young woman. she's not here. That's cool and all, but we got to do our due diligence.
Only
No one's-
girls here are the ones I'm telling to get the hell out of my space.
Hey, he looks at everyone. She's not here, guys.
What did he say?
I think he said she's not here.
He called you a girl. Did you say we were at the altar at that point?
A couple yards away from it. It's like where you can see it and actually make out what it is.
I'm gonna sniff around, see if I can pick up a scent.
Yep, there's definitely a scent.
Okay, more
It's a very
specific. Scent.
very strong animal-like scent.
Yep. See, my problem is I have no understanding of or no one's mentioned what could be here, and and I wouldn't even know the question to ask. Would a Janosko have any reason to take this girl? But that's just me.
Is this the sort of monster that Draven would happily kill, or is it considered, neutral-ish?
I think I'd fall under crypto.
Janoskwa are forest people. I'm just going to call them Sasquatches because that's better sounding than calling them forest persons or forest people or whatever. They are, for the most part, surprisingly peaceful. The Janoskwa are not. They are the smallest group, but they are actively the most violent. Based off of, simply based on the fact that you rolled up a straight up 3, that hold on, a forest person or a Janoskwa is Sasquatch that is on what they classify as the war path. It's a small but incredibly violent faction of their kind, and they are very much of the belief that they should be supreme over, pretty much everything.
So it is the variety of monster that Draven
Absolutely.
would be killing.
But he's also quite aware with that role. When I say inhumanly strong, I am not lying at all. It may have super strength.
So Will asks Draven, what the hell is that thing?
Draven will say quietly, "It is bad news. Real bad news. We need to kill it."
Okay. I think
Are we
I'm-
killing monsters or are we going after the young lady?
so. There's no reasoning with this thing.
I'm assuming that
Well,
there's
we
no
can leave.
reasoning.
Mark, did you actually ask if you were hunting monsters in a Monster Hunter game?
No.
No, he was asking, are we the purpose
just
of
messing with
tonight? Are we going to or is our purpose just to kill this thing, or is our purpose to find Faith? And if his character said that, I'd be like, our purpose is to find Faith, not just to kill monsters. So if this does not have Faith, we don't need to be here.
Okay, Ethan hasn't done anything in a while. And Ethan, can you roll 3d6, not in the box, out in the open, please?
Here we go.
Yes! Thank you
Oh,
for
no.
rolling my bad temper of under 9. Now I have to
Oh, boy.
double check how bad temper works.
Oh, right.
If you fail, you lash out.
Yeah, because he told you to get the hell away, and y'all sat there and started chatting.
Well, I was going to ask if there's even a way we can kill this thing. I suppose we're about to find out.
If you fail, you must lose your temper and insult, attack, or otherwise act against the cause of the stress. Okay, so how are we going to do that? So what is going to happen is something is going to come, not sailing, but he's going to end up throwing
Hurtling?
something. Hurtling will work. He's going to be throwing something at you guys. Let's see, who is he going to throw it at?
The big target. The big target.
Wow, that is appropriate. I did roll Ryder. Okay, so and I have to click here, click there, click over there. Ooh. Man, so close. If I had rolled one
And
less,
you're flat.
if I had managed to roll one less than that, Draven could not have dodged it. However, a large, I don't know, pole, not quite a telephone pole, not quite a telephone pole, comes streaking out of the darkness, and Draven is going to need to give me a dodge of some sort or defense of some sort. You can always try to parry it, I suppose.
You can only parry something 3 times your strength or something like that.
Well, you're really strong.
Well, it depends what you parry it with.
Draven, since this is like a power pole sort of thing, Draven's going to try and dodge. But he will be diving out of the way.
And I am aware of the time, yes. Okay, so you managed to expertly dodge out of the way as this pole, it sort of like streaks past you, and it hits, well, let's see, where's the exterior? The exterior. If you're looking at the Glass Factory image, there is something that's over here. I'm going to presume that is not the only little like outlier building. There's like probably another one that you guys were sort of like sneaking around.
Right.
That's like, on sort of on this direction. So this thing sort of smashes into it, and just so you are aware, I am going to roll the damage of this. So next week, if you decide to take it, you will not be totally surprised at what it is capable of.
That's many D6s.
That was a lot of D6s.
So this thing just cores right through the what is it? The bricks. Just, there's like an explosion of bricks and such like that. And that little outlying building just goes and collapses.
I think he wants us to leave, fellas.
I do believe he no longer enjoys our presence.
Too. I don't think Faith is here. I think she would already be dead.
That, I think, is where we're going to end it for the night. Because I have no idea if Draven is going to say screw it and attack.
Well, I did roll my impulsiveness, so I don't need to be impulsive.
Yeah, but you're you, and you could just say screw that and fail it.
Don't give him ideas.
Hey, but that's where we will end for the night.
With my roll, do I know if they're like immune to guns and stuff like that?
They're not immune to anything. They are just extremely, extremely tough. As in injury tolerance / or damage reduction / something. Do you know how that works? That is something from Powers, I believe.
Yeah.
It basically is a different kind of injury tolerance, and it's like you divide the injury you suffer by a 2 or a 3 or a 4, depending upon how high you do that. So it's like if you did 16 points of damage and my monster, for example, has a DR of 10, Go, okay, well, that's 6 points. It's a slash. So that's what, 9? I think that'd be 9 if you're like cutting him in the chest. And then you would divide that by 2, 3, or 4, depending upon the DR.
Would
Yeah, it's
Draven
a little
have
weird.
some sort of idea of how much that injury tolerance divider is?
It's likely 2 or 3. It's probably not 4 because 4 is just, whoa. I think that's like 150 points or 100 points if it's like 4. I can't remember. I think you can actually go higher than /4.
Yeah,
where
you can
it's
go to
like,
/10, I think is the highest.
injury tolerance. Yeah, I just never bothered linking that because I'm like, holy crap! How do you fight that?
That's the
Yeah,
sort
so
of thing that
basically it's
Superman
got
would have.
double or triple its actual hit points.
So it is entirely killable. Although it's also intelligent, so it may just say, "Oh, hey, I'm getting my ass kicked. Screw this, I'm going to leave," and then come back later.
So at this point, Draven wants to kill it. But if someone says it's not smart, then he won't just charge in.
Maybe he can come here later by himself. That's when he's going to be find out if he's a true badass or not.
Well, to
He
be
does
honest,
the Billy thing.
I mean,
He stands out front and then cuts his chest, as he waits for the Chinesco to come towards
That's
him.
right, and that's the last we see of him.
There's a yell.
Well, to be honest, I mean, just because we may not go after it tonight doesn't mean we won't do it at another time, but we'll come back better prepared.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
Eric is like totally seeing that wrecked building and that large pole that's sticking out and how big it is, and then he's like looking down at his P99 and thinking, I
need something bigger.
No.
I need something bigger. I'm dealing with stuff that I normally have to stake with a wooden stake.
We need bigger guns.
But as stated, that's where we will end it for the night. All active players will get 2 character points, and we will pick up the next week at the same bat time, same bat channel with Doubt Padre, I believe.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to be away for the next number of sessions on holidays.
Yep.
So that does give me the 10 points to buy off.
You can't buy him off until you've defeated him. He'll show up when he shows up.
Okay.
He might show up next week. He might not. You might get eaten. For those of you on the stream, if you are watching this and have questions, corrections, general complaints, some suggestion, good nature heckling, etc., 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 feel free to leave a comment on the video or find us on either Discord or Facebook. The cancer that is Facebook. Thank you for watching, and Olympus Gaming bids you good night.
Good night.
Night stream.
See ya.
Right. Oh.